You are looking live at Kennedy Activity Center in Bloomington, Minnesota, where it is day 3 of the Minnesota Fall Classic. The lid lifter, if you will, on the handball season. Jeff Disher to be joined by Josh Hederick here in a moment, but Josh Walinga to my right as well, as the first of the final round of pool play begins with Fargo Moorhead taking on Milwaukee United from Bloomington. And I don't know about you, Josh Walinga, but a 7:30 game time requires a lot of bucking up, we'll say.
Yep, I am running on Monster, and I'm running on a donut currently. I'll be playing later, so not the best thing in the world, but you know what? It's way too early.
Empty stomach, not good for a goaltender either.
Absolutely. I will take a greasy donut over nothing at all.
And I don't disagree with you, but I have a hockey background as opposed to a handball background, and we are underway, game 1 of the final round of positional play as Milwaukee handles first.
Yep, and around halftime we will update you on the scores and games for the day. If we have time where there's a long timeout, we will as well. Pool play is finishing up. We have 2 teams already in their placement matches. Both Minnesota teams already played their 3rd game. We will update you as soon as we can.
Milwaukee working it around with their cycle. Peterson gets to Nachi. Nachi goes to Gruzinski. His shot is blocked. On the ricochet, Fargo Moorhead comes ahead. McCory shoots and scores. 45 seconds in, Fargo Moorhead takes the 1-0 lead.
That is very good and aggressive offense on Fargo. I think Fargo learned from West Point that if they run Milwaukee, they will control this game.
Coombs and company across the timeline and into the attack zone. That looked like Davis Ekman. Got it down low. I will check that. And yeah, that is Davis Ekman, who has it stolen from him. And actually the shot went high, so I do retract that statement as Fargo Moorhead comes across. That ball given on by Silver. Delivered to McCory, who scored the game's opening goal. Quick shot, short side, Fargo Moorhead up 2-0.
Yep, and just for information, currently the way the scoreboard is set up is going to be for the second half, so Fargo Moorhead will be switching sides to keep that how it is. So Milwaukee is in blue, Fargo is going to be in the yellow and black. For those of you at home that are keeping track of that.
Milwaukee going right to left on your screen as well. Fargo Moorhead left to right. Milwaukee handles Ryan Peterson with a shot that gets, blocked, and Fargo Moorhead races ahead. Pass intercepted by El Sharawi, and here comes Milwaukee. Back into the attack zone, far side. The pass intended for Aisa, who is wearing his correct jersey number this morning, as Fargo Moorhead retakes possession. McCory, opening goal of the game for him, as McCory takes this near the 9-meter, inside the top of the arc, shot in the goal, 3-0 Fargo.
That's what you got to do, look for the pivot. Once the pivot gets open, if he's under the defense, that's 90% shot on the pivot, 5% goalie saves it, and then 4% act of God.
Act of God would be a post, would it not?
Yes, and then the 1% is just due to statistical anomalies.
Brought back ahead by Milwaukee as Peterson, your center back in this attack. Quick shot, right wing, save made, Fargo. Fargo Moorhead surprising me here in the opening 3 minutes and a quarter, as this one is dropped off to McCory. McCory, right wing. Went over, did he, to Coombs. And the ball worked over right to left. Quick shot, short side, save made Milwaukee.
Yep, that was needed. A great save by Joey. Good kick save. He's been doing that all tournament. And let's see if Milwaukee can capitalize off of that.
And a whistle before the shot. I dare say tournament Joey Williams' right foot would be under consideration for tournament MVP.
Yep, his entire right leg for sure has been keeping Milwaukee in a lot of these games.
7-meter shot called for Milwaukee. El Shaarawy missed.
That is a hell of a save. Excuse my language.
No. No, you're exactly right. Because the keeper got most of that as that sails up over the cage. Goalkeeper got most of that 7-meter shot, and he had to have about a 1.5% act of God to assist him on the ricochet.
Exactly. With 7 meters, a lot of goalies, at least what I've been taught and what I've heard, is you say when you go up there, I'm going to block here, and you hope the shooter shoots there.
Treat it like a soccer goalkeeper. Got to guess right.
Now, the thing with soccer is it's further.
Yeah, true.
And you can read the body a lot easier on a soccer player. I mean, you can do it in handball too, but like that's like Olympic style gold medalist kind of games.
Mm-hmm. Whistle, players careening back behind the play, halt to play with 20 minutes and 2 pennies left in the first half.
Yep, this is exactly what Fargo needed to do. I think they went back, and I mean all teams talk after the games. It looks like Fargo got their rest last night, and Milwaukee is like, you know what, we gotta try to keep up with them. But if Milwaukee is playing Fargo's game, just like Milwaukee started to play West Point's game and theirs yesterday, it's not going to go well for Milwaukee.
No, Fargo Moorhead will dominate the attack.
Exactly.
Milwaukee with possession here, shot from the right wing, goes wide, and they went far side as that. So I've learned the far side angle is the one that opens up the quickest, as opposed to short side.
Yep, and with back players, what they want to do is when they're going up to shot block, they want to block the far side. So if you have a left wing going in, you want your teammates to block your left if you're facing on defense. And so the goalie should always be on the short post, and the defense should block the far post.
Fargo Moorhead advances across the timeline. Controlling is Silver. Near wing, Silver gets it back up top. A position swap. Over far wing, quick shot, kick, save, Joey Williams.
His leg, keeping him in there.
And the ball out of play, should go to Fargo, and it does. 18:45 to go in the game's opening half, 3-0 Fargo Moorhead.
7:30 games are tough. This one seems to be really tough on Milwaukee right now. But, I mean...
As they go down 4-0.
Yep.
Silver, I believe, the goal scorer.
I mean, to be fair, though, 4 goals in, gosh, what? 7 minutes? Like, that's actually low. Like, a lot of excuse me, sorry. I will compare a lot of games to Europe because Europe is fast.
Yep.
Goes up, over. If this was a European game, it's very possible the score would be 8-9 on both sides. That's how fast the game goes, constantly running. I mean, they're professionals. They do it for a living, but still.
Brought ahead by Fargo Moorhead. McCory back to the top of the attack. As the cycle working for Fargo Moorhead so far as they go up 5-rip, 17:38 to go in the game's opening half.
Yeah, if I'm Milwaukee here, I'm going to want to think about taking my first timeout pretty soon. You got to slow Fargo down. Fargo's excited. They have something to prove. Both teams currently are 0-2 on the day or tournament.
Bear hug halts play before the shot. Goal waved off.
Yeah.
And Fargo Moorhead playing what looks to be a 6 or 7 7 flat.
It'll be 6.
6 flat.
Yep. If you count the goalie, I guess technically it's 7. But they're flat all the way down on the line anyways.
Yeah, and you can afford to be that in the early going. 7-meter given up by Fargo Moorhead. Taking the shot is Nachi. He shoots, fakes, shot and a goal, right post.
Yep, those are always heartbreakers. As a goalie, you get your hand on it, and then you're like, crap, it's still winning.
5-1 our score. 16 and a half to go in the first half. Fargo Moorhead tries to answer, but Joey Williams with a kick save.
Yep, his leg is definitely the MVP for Milwaukee this tournament.
Milwaukee with possession. Quick shot. Nachi scores 5-2.
All right. Milwaukee gets another good possession. They score another goal. I think Milwaukee can feel confident, and they can start slowing down and start running more plays. Right now, they're just kind of trying to catch up to Fargo's attack. Good shot.
And Fargo Moorhead goes up 6-2 now, as Milwaukee looking to answer.
That was a good call by the wing there to move in. The defense was up focusing on the ball so he could sneak on the 6-meter line, get up, wide open pass. Great catch, great shot.
Nachi had it dropped to him, but a near wrestling takedown on Ihab Ali halts the play. Clock rolls, 15:24 left to go in the first half. Milwaukee with possession as Nachi resumes the attack. Nachi gets it back up top, delivers over to Aisa. Aisa goes, check that. That's Nachi who went cross court. And Milwaukee maintains. Nachi, right wing, quick shot and a goal. Left-handed shot goes in, and Milwaukee within a field goal. 14:55 to go in the first. As Fargo Moorhead answers, McCory scored the game's opening goal. He scores Fargo's 7th for a 7-3 contest so far, just over 10 minutes in.
That was a good shot. That was a very good shot to the corner. Very unlucky for Joey, the goalie. It happens. You just kind of rub it off or let it go, as the famous singer Indita Menzel says, and you just kind of shake it off, as Taylor Swift also says, and you just go to the next one.
I notice how I just let you keep going there.
I had a thought. I got there eventually.
Nachi scores on the 7-meter. 7-4. 14 minutes to play in the game's opening period. Josh Hederick at the table. Josh Willinga up here with me, Jeff Disher, for those just tuning in late. And if this is your first game of the tournament, you have missed an incredible 2 days as that shot sails high. This is the first year that Minnesota, I believe, has had 2 teams in this tournament.
Yep. As far as I've been here 6 years with Minnesota. I've always dreamt of having 2 teams, and yeah, the fact that we can get some of those newer players in a tournament setting like this, get them that experience, it'll deepen our player pool, and heck, if they keep coming out and they want to keep playing 2 teams in future tournaments, it's gonna be great.
Only adds to the overall tournament experience. By the way, if you are wanting to contribute to today's broadcasts, feel free to hit the chat. We will answer questions throughout the day like we've done over the course of yesterday and even back to Friday night.
And if you are up this early in the morning, 7:45 here in nice, cool Minnesota, bless you. Bless you.
Shot up over the cage from El Sharawi, as Fargo Moorhead will answer. 8-4 our score to Fargo Moorhead, who are going left to right here in the first half. As the Wolves advance, McCory drops it down low, right wing. Quick shot by Kevin Best goes up over the cage, but a bump will cancel that shot.
So I wish I had the instant replay working, because that one, I'm not quite sure I would call that, unless the defending wing stuck his foot out, which is completely possible.
7-meter throw upcoming for Fargo-Moorhead. And it goes into the net. Bounces right by the right arm of Joey Williams.
Yep, those ones are weird. You're expecting a fast shot, and it just sinker, slider, whatever you want to call them. Baseball. I'm not a baseball guy.
Change up.
Change up, yes, thank you.
I'm here for you.
Yep. Change up, though, those will get you. I mean, what are you going to do?
Quick shot on the ricochet for Milwaukee goes by the wayside as the save made by Nathan Gomes, who is in net for Fargo-Moorhead this morning.
Yep, Fargo needs their goalie to show up, and he has been so far. And to be fair, Joey has as well. It's just Milwaukee's defense has been crumbling again, which kind of has been their downfall.
It's their Achilles heel. Yep.
Absolutely.
And it's been that way through the 2 games they played yesterday. And when your defense crumbles, the attack can only do so much.
Yep. And we saw it with the Minnesota Green and NYAC. We saw it with the
West Point Milwaukee.
It happens, and it's the first tournament, but sometimes you just got to look and say, you know what, we just need to focus on defense and not worry about getting the ball in the back of the net.
Foul called on Fargo-Moorhead that allows Milwaukee to maintain control as they set up their attack. Jagger, Peterson. Peterson shoots one, and that knocked away. 10 minutes and a dime in a 10-4 game in the opening half. Now, if we had the XLR cables, we could have Josh Hederick on a microphone from the table. However, that is risky for reasons that we will not go into as Fargo-Moorhead makes it 11-4.
I'm not going to lie. I was expecting Milwaukee to be on the double-digit side to begin with, but Fargo is really taking it to them right now.
That's what getting your arrest will have as Peterson gets it back in a nifty give and go. Center back is Jagger. Dropped off. Whistle on the shot. And Fargo-Moorhead will get possession.
Yep, and I think Milwaukee is just saying we need these goals, and so they're playing a lot more one-on-one instead of set plays. When they were playing against West Point, one of the first games of their group stage, they were running plays, and it was working well.
Quick shot, far wing, save Williams.
It's good. I think if Milwaukee needs to slow down, they need to just take a breath, and they need to start passing the ball. Not one-on-ones. They just need to look for openings, get some plays running, or get something moving where the ball is instead of the players.
You've got to steal back momentum any way you can. Passes like that from Peterson will not help your cause.
Exactly. And I know he was looking for the pivot. I think he was looking for a kick on the defense, which understandable.
Peterson taken down at the top of the arc. That'll draw the ire of the officials.
Yep.
Milwaukee will keep possession.
Also, too, maybe Milwaukee consider taking a timeout. I think you get 2 a game, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, that'll be a 2-minute.
2-minute penalty upcoming.
The offensive player was falling. We've seen a lot of flops this tournament and theatrics. You get that with any sport. I mean, you look at soccer and you're like, what a bunch of pansies. I'm going to say it.
I mean, and I've been in situations as a soccer official where I have to judge that on the fly.
Yep.
As far as whether someone is embellishing, leading to a flop or not. Didn't see it on that exchange or on that sequence last time down for Milwaukee.
Yep. No, I believe. The offensive player on that one definitely was going down. So that was definitely 2 minutes.
Howitzer there from Mark Saunders, saved by Williams.
Yep.
But there's you also don't want to help your guy if you know he's already going down.
Right, exactly.
Because that'll not be good. Great save on the far side for Fargo's keeper.
Yep.
And I don't know how Milwaukee has not taken their opening timeout yet.
They might be trying to save it for the second half too.
Could be.
Try to say, hey, make it to half. Once halftime happens.
Great shot there, and Fargo Moorhead goes up 12-4.
Yep.
But I'd certainly be thinking about it if I'm Milwaukee's head coach.
Yep, and I think Ryan Peterson is kind of the coach. I know that they have someone on the side that helps too. And when you see things on the court, maybe he's seeing something that the bench isn't seeing. But this is what they need to do. They needed to slow down like this, maybe get some movement, look for an opening, and a shot, just like that.
5-hole goes in, 12-5.
As they call it in lacrosse, get it around the horn a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do that, then look for some openings. Because you need to calm Fargo down, because they're running Milwaukee here, and that's exactly what Milwaukee doesn't want. So move it, slow it, look for a good opening like that. That's a good shot. I mean, you're down one person on Fargo's side, and get those openings.
And you need to take advantage anytime you can, seeing as the penalty doesn't end on a goal. Great save, Williams.
And they need Joey to keep playing well.
Timeout called.
Yep.
And now they see it with 5:37 to go in the first half. Timeout Milwaukee. And what would you, if you were Ryan Peterson on the floor for Milwaukee, what would you be telling your men right now?
Honestly, I'd say slow it down. Like, I know you want to go fast. You can still go fast while being slow. Move the ball more. Try not to take drives towards the net. Instead, pass the ball fast, get the defense to move, look for an opening that way. Instead of going these one-on-ones, which you can do, but you need a very big gap and you need a very weak defense. And Fargo's defense has actually been pretty strong here. They've been cutting off the wings, and the one-on-ones just aren't working.
One of the strongest defenses in this tournament.
So far,
from Fargo Moorhead.
Yep, they've when they started a couple years ago as a college team, yeah, they had a lot of learning, and they've come a long way. And it's really, really good to see handball in the Midwest specifically grow as much as it has. So if I'm Milwaukee, just tell your players, keep moving, but move the ball and don't take as many one-on-ones.
And also, Milwaukee thankful that there's not a shot clock per se. If there was, I would encourage Milwaukee to take more than one shot per possession if they can even get the ball back. But the one and dones have not necessarily helped Milwaukee United so far.
Exactly. And I know that there is passive play, but the rest have been actually pretty lenient on the passive play. With passive play, once the ref puts his hand up, you have 4 passes before you shoot.
Peterson tried to get around a double team. Pass intercepted. Here comes Fargo Moorhead. And a bear hug halts that advance briefly, but Fargo advances across the timeline.
Yep. That was good by Milwaukee. Step up on the guy, get him to slow down. No fast break.
Left wing. Pass into the middle. Loose ball. Controlled by Milwaukee. Ball brought ahead. Across the timeline by Peterson.
Good. That's what they got to do.
Slow the game down.
Yep. Play on your terms. Don't play on Fargo's terms.
Milwaukee the victim of that yesterday, as we alluded to in their game against West Point. Quick shot.
Yep.
For Milwaukee, and that is Aisa.
And that's also what you want to do too. You can if you do want to play quicker, do 2 or 3 passes and then get a shot like that. But instead of playing one-on-one, they're moving the ball and therefore moving the defense.
Whistle goes, halt to play, travel is the call. 4:10, so the clock rolls as Milwaukee advances across the timeline into the attack. This goes to Jagger, and Jagger goes down to his near wing. El-Shaarawy, Peterson. That shot partially tipped, or partially deflected by the goaltender, but it goes by him, and it's 12-7.
That I think waiting for the timeout was the right call on that. initially I was like, hey, stop it earlier, but I think they were just like trying to get it so they can get the momentum back, which timeouts do. I don't know. That's why I'm not a coach. That's why I'm up here announcing.
And that's why you're a goaltender, too.
Exactly.
Williams with a nice, nifty save there.
I know my defense. I know how to stop shots. I don't know how to tell somebody, hey, do this, except, hey, do this.
Peterson crosses the timeline. I mean, that method of getting things accomplished could work, too.
Yeah, but then you're kind of seen as
yeah,
judge, jury, executioner of everybody, and you don't want that. Handball is a team sport.
Yeah.
There are sports where you're an individual competing with the team, but this is a team sport.
Peterson with a shot just up high. Still 12-7, 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first half. We will go over the upcoming schedule for the day, and we have partial placement matchups for this afternoon established, but we will go over that at the half.
Yep.
2.5 minutes left to go in this first half. Fargo-Moorhead with a 12-7 lead. Loose ball, far wing. Halt to play. Clock rolls. 2:20 left to go in the first half.
That was very good defense. Very, very good to get the defenses back to the 6. Joey's leg.
Right foot of Joey Williams making a defensive stop.
Yep. Get the Joey Williams foot trophy.
Brought ahead by Milwaukee and El Sharawi. Quick shot, and that was deflected out of play. Fargo's goaltender Christian Sorum doing the business as well.
Yep, he's been stopping him when he needs them. Milwaukee needs to get the ball in the back of the net. I like that they're passing it. That they're starting to pass more. Maybe take Warner. Ooh.
Did that stayed out, I believe, and a halt to play. 2 minute has been called.
Yep.
And a 7-meter throw, so a double whammy, if you will, against Fargo-Moorhead. Fargo-Moorhead scores and goes up 13-7.
Yep, Milwaukee's pulling it back slowly but surely. They went 2 or 3 goals unanswered, and this first one Fargo's had in a hot minute.
Nachi with a shot that goes up high and leaves the court. Final minute of play in the first half. Very quick and fluid pace of play. Halt to play, timeout.
Yep.
For Fargo-Moorhead. So 50 seconds to go. You're down 13-7. Let's do like the talking heads and talk about how we got here. And Joey Williams' foot is how Milwaukee is within 6.
Yep. He's had at least 4 that I can count. Massive saves coming in from the wing, trying to go to the far corner, kicks his foot out, flexes his toe at the last second to stop it and have it go flying. Milwaukee just not putting the ball in the back of the net either. They've had a couple open shots that have gone wide. It happens. You know, maybe in the first couple minutes I could see it, but we're 25 minutes in. That should be at least off the post. Worst case scenario.
And you're not getting the rebound or the rebound off the pipe that you would be getting off maybe a hockey goalpost or a soccer goalpost. So the more I think about it, the more the multiple shot possessions are lacking. So you have to look for the right shot at the right time.
Exactly. And that's actually what Fargo's been doing. They've been looking for the open person, and they've been hitting the back of the net. Plus, the game has been played on Fargo's terms. I know we're like a broken record for that, but Fargo's been running Milwaukee, and Milwaukee does not want to run. Milwaukee wants to set up plays, which they haven't been doing, and Fargo's like, okay, fine, we'll take you on the fast breaks then.
And then Milwaukee has to rely defensively on Joey Williams' right foot.
Exactly.
Pass inside, quick shot and a goal, and Joey can only do so much.
Yep.
14-7, 25 seconds to go in the first half as Milwaukee advances across the timeline.
You could have the best goalie in the world, but if you don't have a defense to back them up, they're going to look like Swiss cheese.
Exactly. Grated Swiss cheese.
Exactly. Grade A Swiss cheese.
Grated.
Grated. Ah, yes.
Check that. Milwaukee advances with Aisa at the top of the attack. Buzzer sounds end of the first half from Bloomington, and it is Fargo-Moorhead with a 14-7 lead.
Yep, and that was a monster stop by the keeper at the end there. Keep Fargo's morale up. Don't let it swing back in Milwaukee's favor. Not going to lie, I was expecting the scores to be switched, but hey, I like surprises. And it's really good to see both teams fighting out how they have been.
Let's take a short timeout. We'll have the updated standings for you coming up as it is halftime of the first game of the final session of pool play from the Fall Classic.
We'll be back in a minute.
Back at Kennedy Activity Center in Bloomington, Minnesota, home of the Fall Classic. Josh Hedrick has decided to rise up, if you will, from the scores table and join us upstairs. So Jeff Disher, Josh Hedrick, and Josh Walenga with you from Bloomington. First off, your thoughts on what we are calling the Joey Williams
Foot extravaganza.
Foot extravaganza.
Well, so far, I feel like Milwaukee is having a slow start. Could be just the early morning go about. I think the numbers on Fargo's bench are definitely showing as far as being fresh. Joey, absolutely keeping this team in there. I feel like Milwaukee's taken some shots that are a little questionable. They should really clean that up. But I really got to say, the Fargo-Moorhead Wolves goaltenders are coming to play today. I really think they are making the big difference in this game so far. If they continue that, I could see this being a double-digit win for them. But I could definitely see Milwaukee coming out with a little bit of extra fire, regrouping, settling down, starting to make their shots, starting to readjust. And it very much could be a close game. It should be a close game, but Fargo's really showing dominance right now, and Milwaukee's really got to step up.
And Fargo-Moorhead only adding to the woes of Milwaukee United as you see the Group 1 standings there. And the first number that jumps out at me is the -21 goal differential for Milwaukee United after losing their 2 games yesterday. They've allowed 53 goals, scored 31. And Fargo-Moorhead, 2 losses as well. They've scored 37, allowed 64.
Yeah, I think right there it really shows you offenses are pretty close. the goals allowed are pretty close. I will say, if you can see the goals against, like Fargo, usually, they've given up a lot of goals. So what really should be happening is Milwaukee should be having a lot of goals going in. They're not right now. So don't know what these goalies drank or ate last night, but I really do feel like the Wheaties were very present in those outcomes.
We should add the Spectacular Foot Award to the awards ceremony if we can do that late today, or definitely up for next year, because Joey Williams' right foot would be under consideration for MVP right now. 14-7 at the half. Dish and the Josh is with you up high, and if we go to Group 2 with your NYACs, both Minnesota programs, you see NYAC at the top of that group. On goal differential by 19, based on college math, as NYAC has scored 72 goals, which I believe leads the tournament in goals scored. And I see a Minnesota team who has allowed triple digits too at the bottom of that graphic, but that's understandable given that black is the newer squad compared to your green men, but your green men have impressed me as well, only being down 6 in the goal differential column.
Yeah, Group 2 is a really tough group. Again, I was saying before, I think Group 1 is a group of death. This is actually really good, even with Green and Chicago and NYAC. Those were all really close and tough played games. We're going to see a bruiser today. After this game, NYAC, Chicago, winner goes to the championship. Basically, NYAC has to win or tie, and they move in. So Chicago has a little bit of their backs against the wall, but also Chicago has a little more of a bench. But NYAC definitely has some great athleticism and some great ball handlers and great shooters. It's going to be a really, really good match. Green and black obviously will play in their respective 7th-place game and the 5th-place game. The winner of this game will basically meet Minnesota Green in that 5th-place game. So far, it looks like Fargo is going to be going there, but don't hold out Milwaukee just yet.
If Milwaukee gets on a run early in the second half here, this game could be a lot tighter than it is. And the 7-goal difference, Josh Willinga, is not necessarily insurmountable at this stage of the game. As you see the upcoming schedule with Chicago and NYAC coming up, CalHeat and West Point to end the placement round, or to end the pool play round, and we get into placement games at 11:15. So 25 minutes on the clock. Hedrick sprinting back down to the table, and Fargo-Moorhead going right to left in the second half will have the opening possession ready to go, and here we go. Fargo-Moorhead across the timeline, and we're underway with the second half as this one is picked up by McCormick. McCormick gets it eventually to Silver. And McCormick, the center back on this attack. McCormick dropped that over and got it to Silver, right or left wing. The pass blocked by Williams, and Milwaukee goes the other way. Nachi, the center back here, as coming in is Jagger. Jagger, Nachi. Milwaukee working it around left wing, and you need a 2-goal swing here if you're Milwaukee desperately. Far wing.
Yep.
Great save, I believe.
Yep, that's going to be 2.
The shot will not count as a 2-minute was called. And a 7-meter throw upcoming from Milwaukee, so a double whammy if you're Fargo-Moorhead in the early stages of the second half. Nachi to take this. Nachi, right-handed, his shot, off iron, and it stays out, but the rebound swallowed by the keeper.
Yep, that's going to be Milwaukee ball. It was a push on him. Guy get past that 9 meter dotted line.
Short side, the shot stays out off the frame. Not what you want to see if you're Milwaukee down 7.
Nope. In that case, instead of kind of fading towards the end line, you want to fade towards the center. It opens up the shot more and gives you a lot more options.
Fargo-Moorhead looks to answer. Whistle goes before the shot. Clock rolls importantly as Fargo-Moorhead takes possession. McCormick drops it over, far wing, gets it back. Swims around one, drops it off near wing, up over the cage. And Milwaukee didn't have to have Joey Williams handle that, but they will take possession.
Yep, that's any stop is a big stop for Milwaukee right now, at least until they close the gap.
Need goals,
Nice pass.
and they get one there.
That's what you need to see.
And that was Beakery with the goal. McCormick down low. Quick shot and a quick goal right up over the outstretched left foot of Joey Williams. 15-8. Near wing. Milwaukee looking to answer. Top of the arc, and it goes in. 15-9. Don't count Milwaukee out just yet.
Nope, that's what they got to do if Fargo scores. I mean, they got to keep up and get a goal back. That's kind of how games work, but very important for Milwaukee right now.
Can't be trading goals either. You've got to get defensive stops if you're Milwaukee.
Yep.
And score on the offensive end. Far wing, Joey Williams hurt us.
And yeah, Joey's been good, but Milwaukee's defense needs to give him a break. Joey's keeping him in here right now, and if the defense wants Joey to keep doing well, you got to give him a breather.
They're crumbling like the defense for Milwaukee crumbling like the Earth's tectonic plates.
Yep, that is going to be a 2-minute. Going up for a shot, pushed him over. He was kind of leaning backwards, but you gotta player safety is very important. So.
And a red card out.
Red card. Yep. Pushed him up on the neck. If we had an instant replay to see it, I think he was trying to go for his chest, but then it went up.
That's usually how that works.
And this, I hate seeing people go out with red cards. I hate seeing those get thrown. This is going to be big for Milwaukee because Moshe is a big part of Fargo's offense.
And Milwaukee couldn't take advantage.
Nope. That was a needed save by the keeper.
Fargo-Moorhead advances across the timeline and into the attack. They go to McCormick. McCormick up high, thought about a shot, but the pass intercepted. McCormick will go back. No need to worry about a backcourt violation in handball as McCormick retakes the attack. This goes over to Silver. Silver, bear hugged, halt play, 20:48 to go as the clock rolls. Fargo-Moorhead with possession. Williams didn't see it as he was screened by two men.
Yep.
And Milwaukee cannot answer or needs to answer with a goal, and they were too quick advancing across the timeline.
Yeah, I think Joey was looking for a crease violation there. Didn't get it, unfortunately. Crease, restricted area, whatever you want to say. The no-go zone, no-fly zone.
As a shot for Maisa goes by the wayside. And Fargo-Moorhead advances across.
Yep,
And that shot
save.
hits the top of the iron, stays out.
Yep, tipped off of Joey's fingers. That was good. Also, good on the wing to cut off the angle, but also not draw a 2-minute penalty there because whichever team has the least 2 minutes is probably going to win this game.
A shot just after the bear hug. halts play. Clock rolls with under 20 minutes to go in the match. We have a 7-meter throw up coming for Grzinski. Haven't called his name here in a little bit. Left-handed throw. Grzinski fires up high. That ball launched on him.
I'm getting flashbacks of, what's his name? Soccer player. Shot it, goes flying over. Is that Messi?
Could be.
Channeling his inner Messi, not what you want to do here. Although, one thing to note, usually 7-meter...
There's a quick shot.
Usually 7-meter throws are done by the same person every time unless they are hurt or if they need a break. So Milwaukee, I think, has had 3 7-meters and had 3 different people shooting them.
So you don't have a specialist in that department as a kick save made by Fargo Moorhead's goaltender Christian Sorum. But Milwaukee doesn't have a 7-meter specialist, is what you're saying.
I think I know that they had someone. I don't. Ooh, that's unlucky.
That's it. Yeah, it's starting to get unfortunate for Milwaukee because Joey Williams can only do so much.
Yep.
And Milwaukee is not even answering on the attack side with goals themselves.
Yep, they're back to playing Fargo's game again. You don't want to be doing that. You're playing fast, which Fargo wants to do, and Milwaukee just needs to slow it down. Just take a breath, get 3 or 4 passes, and then attack the net.
Fargo Moorhead, loose ball, maintaining control, was Indy Alonso.
That's
and
good.
Saunders with the possession there. Go ahead.
That's good defense. Milwaukee needs to keep that kind of defense up. Be aggressive. I mean, let the ref tell you, hey, you're doing too much. It's better to do that than not do enough.
False start. 5-yard penalty.
Repeat first down.
At no loss of down. This is not intentional grounding. Milwaukee loses possession. Doubt that they really had it to begin with as Fargo Moorhead resumes play. The clock now starting to become Milwaukee's enemy, especially if your defense collapses like that.
Yep, you have good, strong defense, good, strong defense, good, strong defense, and then
collapse.
Like the Roman Empire.
Yep. Or the Berlin Wall.
Yep, either or both. Same time, same space.
Exactly. Fargo Moorhead going back to a 6 flat. Milwaukee can't break it.
Yep.
Oh!
I know you can get angry at the ref, but come on, give him a break. All right, let's get a timeout for the ref here.
Timeout on the floor.
Yep. So what Milwaukee did there was good at the beginning, and then it devolved into a one-on-one, which you don't want to do.
No.
You want to keep that passing, and you want to keep that movement, and then get a shot. Don't pass, one-on-one. You go pass to open guy.
Apparently word on the floor is that the produce section does not need to be cleaned up.
Yep.
Everything's okay with the official. Quick shot and a save, or a block partially made, but the ball goes in. 20-9 our score.
Fargo is pumped, as you should be. I would be absolutely excited, ecstatic. Insert E word here that has the same synonyms as those.
Yes, ecstatic works.
Yep. If I was Fargo, not gonna lie, I was expecting Milwaukee. I'll just straight up say it, and I like being proven wrong, especially now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the first tournament. You're gonna have a lot to work on. Yep,
great save.
First tournament, so I think it's just first tournament jitters for Milwaukee. I think Fargo has interesting thing about Fargo is some of their players live in Denver, and they actually play with the Denver team. And I believe the Denver team actually has a beach handball team that they play sometimes. And so I
summertime?
Yep. And so I think 3 or 4 of the players are out there, and they were playing in the summer, which makes sense because the passes are crisp. They know where people are going to be. And I think Milwaukee just rusty.
Quick shot and a goal goal scored, and it's now 21-9.
I think there's been 4 or 5 goals as well that have gone off the hand or foot of Joey, and that unlucky. It happens, and sometimes that can also cost you the game.
Well, when your defense cracks like the Berlin Wall,
Yep.
like we said in the first half, there's only so much that he can do. 14:35 to go.
Yep. Grade A goalie, graded cheese sometimes.
If we can get to it, I see a comment in the chat.
Yep. Nathan Gomes, sorry if I'm butchering your name, says, let's go Fargo. Yep, your boys are doing good.
That shot, excuse me, that shot up over the cage. 21-9 in favor of Fargo Moorhead. With under a football quarter remaining as we get down to the 14-minute mark.
Yep. Fargo needs to keep pushing. Milwaukee needs to slow down. I feel like a broken record, but
you can't say it any better than you just did.
Yeah. Fargo's got Fargo. This is Fargo's game to lose here.
But I also don't see their defense cracking, and I see their attack being very crisp as they cross the timeline.
Yep.
Or from the moment they cross the timeline, 22-9.
Yep. Fargo learned from yesterday. Milwaukee unfortunately hasn't. But
quick shot from the top of the attack leads to a goal.
Yep.
22-10.
12 more to go with 13 minutes left. I mean, if you get a goal every 45 and you stop most of them, yeah, you might get there.
Possible.
You might get there.
Fargo advances across the timeline. That went to Newdom. And Fargo retains possession. Saunders at the top of the attack. Far wing up over the cage. And now if you're Milwaukee, must score.
Must score. You need 2 good defensive stops. That's 1 of 2. And you need 2 good goals. And you can't throw the ball away. No stupid mistakes, no stupid passes.
Top of the attack. Here comes Milwaukee. Far wing save made.
That was a good save.
And Milwaukee keeps possession. Peterson couldn't score. And here comes Fargo Moorhead.
Yep.
Newdom, cross court, eventually given back to Alonzo, who goes down in a heap. Halt to play. I believe a 2-minute will be called. I believe that's correct. Yes. 2-minute was called. And so Milwaukee down a man. Worst case scenario for Milwaukee United.
So from up here, the guy was falling backwards, so that's why he fell. But it was a push. That, I mean, player safety is important. You got to call it, but that's kind of a gray area 2-minute call, in my opinion.
Top of the attack, and Fargo Moorhead puts it in. They're up 13 with 11:52 left to play. Peterson from long range.
Okay. You take those when you get them.
23-11.
If you're Milwaukee, you'll take anything at this point. You'll take a meteor coming down and striking the center of the court, and we need to not play anymore.
NASA just launched a spacecraft to attempt to deflect one recently, and I believe they were successful. Short side, the shot off the saved by Williams. I thought it bounced off the frame initially, but it stayed out regardless.
Yep.
Brought back ahead by Milwaukee. Peterson, top of the attack, goes cross court. El Sharawi hugged. Clock rolls, 11 minutes left to play. Peterson works this over to Gruzinski. Gruzinski. Bit of contact, halts play. Before Gruzinski got the pass off.
Yep, Milwaukee's getting a little chippy right now.
Peterson delivers near wing, and unable to get the shot away was Gruzinski. Here comes Fargo Moorhead on the break. Saunders scores 24-11 with 10.5 left.
So 10 minutes, 30 left. You're down by 13.
About to get into turn out the lights, the party's over, or at least that idea. That pass to Peterson intercepted leads to a 2-on-0 break.
Oh.
Saunders bump, shot and a goal.
Yep, you're going to get a 2-minute for that.
So the goal, wipe the goal, or no, it's
Goal
a double
stays.
whammy.
Yep.
Goal stands, and you lose a man.
That's just, you're frustrated. That's just you being frustrated at that point. For those of you, if anyone's new watching, if there's a fast break like that, and if there's a fast break and you're behind them, you just need to let them go. Unless you can run in front of them and stop them, it has to go through.
Fargo-Moorhead now with possession as the ball bounces to Silver, and it's now 26-11 game getting out of hand for Milwaukee United.
Yep, this is not looking good for it's not looking good for them. For Milwaukee. Fargo, this is great. I mean, it's good to see Fargo growing. It's good to see Fargo learn as well from yesterday.
Nachi gets it back, top of the attack. Nachi fakes, shoots, scores.
Okay. One down, 14 to go.
26-12, 9 minutes and a dime remaining in the second half.
So at this point, if you're Fargo and you're up by this much, you want to slow the ball down as much as possible.
You have no shot clock stopping you either, so that's a great point.
So you slow down, you maybe get a passive, and even take the passive penalty and force Milwaukee to play fast. Because good save.
What a kick save, and that was launched into the court divider, so that will keep the play here on Fargo-Moorhead's attack side.
Yep. I think Fargo feels like
27-12 now. They feel like
they're feeling good. That's not what I was going to say, but they're feeling good. Their defense is strong. Their goalie's been bailing them out of unfortunate circumstances. Milwaukee is deflated at this point. Fargo, slow down. Honestly, slow down. Hang on to the ball. Maybe get those passive penalties.
Nachi goes to Gruzinski. Gruzinski scores, but you are to the point where it's too little too late.
Yep.
As Fargo-Moorhead has more than doubled you up. 7:45 left to go in the second half of play. Final group stage game for both teams.
Yep. This could be big.
Aisa, save made.
Yep, that's...
What happened there?
Goalie blocked. Ball hit the player that shot, so it's goalie ball.
So, Fargo-Moorhead possession.
Yep.
Brought back ahead by Silver across the timeline. Silver dropped that off. Bodies fly, whistle goes.
I think that last possession was probably the nail in the coffin. I don't like calling games early, but you got 7 minutes left, and if Fargo hangs onto the ball even 40% of the time, and then they score
Silver
on their possessions, that's it. Game over.
I mean, I can't put it any more succinctly than that. And the straw that broke the camel's back for Milwaukee was their defense in front of Joey Williams.
Yep, exactly.
Because he can only do so much. Kick save made. And with 6:25 left to go, and the game only, or the time in the game only getting worse for Milwaukee, I don't know that they can do much more. So they will transition and play for, I believe it would be 7th place.
Yep, Milwaukee at this point is probably going to be playing for 7th place.
Coming up at 11:15. Save made by Fargo-Moorhead's keeper.
Dan Steinberg says, good day from Plymouth. Good day to you, sir. Thanks for helping out yesterday. Much appreciated. Give this guy some eye break. Break of the eyes, staring at a screen all day. Not good for you.
No.
But, you know, we take one for the team for your viewing pleasure.
And that extends to the broadcaster as well, as Steinberg witnessed last night. However, everything ended up being good this morning. Milwaukee with possession in their attack.
Yep.
5:13 left to go in the game. Quick shot, quick save, and Fargo Moorhead with the ball.
Yep, that was a good job on Joey, getting the ball out of bounds. And then great save by Fargo Moorhead's goalie.
What a move there by Farrell Harris. As a whistle goes, ball out of play.
So if I'm Fargo right now, you're feeling really good. But what I would be trying to do in these last almost 5 minutes is I would try to plan and play how you want to play the next game. And if they want to play fast, then yeah, keep playing fast, I guess. And maybe that's what they're thinking because that's working for them. I will say, Green's defense, when it's on, it's on. When it's off, it's off. So I guess you can exploit that. But
and you're their goalkeeper.
Yes.
You would know.
I like to take pride in the fact that usually the Green defense is very strong. Like that's how we've won our games. But anyways, Fargo, figure out what went wrong this game. Maybe try to fix it in these last 3 minutes. If you're throwing away passes like that, that's not going to be a good time for you.
No. 28-14, 3:50 left to go in the second half. Now the arms are starting to fly as Milwaukee controls in their attack. Right wing, Grzinski dished it to the top, and a shove on Ihab Ali. He gets up okay. That should be a 7-meter, and it will be. So you don't want to see a 2-point wrestling takedown at any time. Aisa does not take advantage. But the rebound, scored by El Sharawi, 28-15.
So one thing I will say is even though Milwaukee is down, the fact that they're still trying to score is good. Like the morale is down, but it's not completely broken.
They haven't given up, and they haven't phoned it in.
Exactly.
Quick shot off the iron, and it stays out. 2:40 left to go in the second half of play. As Milwaukee holds possession in their attack. Grzinski shoots, scores. 28-16, Grzinski.
If Milwaukee was doing that kind of thing all day, this would be a lot closer of a game.
Yep. Speaking of the end of the game that we have upcoming, your thoughts on player of the game?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I'd say probably the goalkeeper from Fargo. He's been doing really good. Slight bias because I'm a goalie. I always appreciate that. But I would actually probably say number 24 has been doing pretty good.
Chris McCormick.
Yep. I'd say either of those would be my thing. I'd lean towards the goalie because honestly, he's had some monster stops and he's been keeping this game out of reach from Milwaukee.
And 16 goals given up is a regular day's work for a handball goalkeeper, is it not?
16 is low, I'd say. You're usually looking 20 plus, sometimes 30 plus.
Okay.
So the fact that he's under 20 is amazing.
1:35 left to go in the second half. I would, you know what? Goaltender, goalkeeper. I'd lean for their goaltender too. So we'll do that, and we'll have that interview coming up after this one concludes in a few minutes. Fargo-Moorhead bringing this ahead. Game result not in doubt. They're up 29-17 with a minute and a nickel left to play.
Yep. I know handball is very fast. You're not scoring 12 goals in a minute.
Nope.
I could maybe see 6 tops.
In Europe, maybe.
Yeah. Even here, I think there was one game where there was 11 goals scored in a minute, but it was from like between both teams, not one team scoring 11.
38 seconds as Fargo-Moorhead advances far side. And Joey Williams can only do so much as the goal scored 30-17. And Williams out of his net playing in the, or he's coming off. Nope, he's an active participant in the attack.
Yep, I mean, there's really nothing you can do at that point.
No.
Just go out there, have fun. I mean, 10 seconds left. You know, they get an empty net goal. It happens.
Dribbling out the final 3-2. Joey Williams with the last shot of the game before the final buzzer sounds. So we will get Fargo-Moorhead's goalkeeper up for the player of the game. We'll pause before we do that. But it is Fargo-Moorhead with the 30-17 victory. And we'll pause and we'll have that player of the game interview for you coming up. Back at Kennedy Activity Center, day 3 of the Minnesota Fall Classic. Our first player of the game on Championship Sunday, none other than Fargo-Moorhead's second half goalkeeper, Nathan Gomes. Nathan, you're with Josh Willinga, Jeff Disher here. Your thoughts on your performance in the second half of that match?
Well, I was able to find a good reading of the players of the other team. I noticed that they were shooting a lot from the 9 and not finding much holes in the 6. So I was able to get those shots blocked.
And were you able to easily read what Milwaukee was giving you as the second half started and ticked further down?
Yes, like I said, usually when the shot comes from the 6 for the goalkeeper, it's kind of hard to stop it.
Yeah.
Because it's more positioning and reflex, not so much kind of thing. You go more for a 50-50. You choose a side. But when the shot comes from the 9, you have that time to adjust and that time to go for the ball specifically. So since our defense was pretty locked up on the 6, it was kind of easy to stop the shots from the 9 with that time reaction and stuff.
And you're playing the angle the same way with a 9 versus a 6.
Well, I have my personal experience as a goalkeeper. I have a different game because when they open a hole on our defense and they go for the 6 shot, usually I try to step up and close the angle and stuff. Or the wing shots, I also step up. But when the 9, I just stay in the goal, calm, wait for the ball, and go for the reflex.
Okay, Josh Wallinga.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I play goalie too. It's really good to see. Honestly, it's really good to see the keepers playing well. You kept them in there. They had some tough shots. What'd you get? 2.7 meters you got?
It's hard. It's hard for me to remember, but I think so.
That sounds right.
I think the second 7-meter shot, the guy got like a rebound, and then they scored.
Yep.
But the first. I think my first 7-meter shot was a really good save.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I just kind of opened a split there and was able to block it.
Yeah, and you kept your defense pumped up, and they kept scoring for you, and you kept them in there, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah, in our other games, I think it was. I mean, obviously the other teams are more experienced. They're stronger. They shoot faster and stuff. Especially CalHeat. That was a tough game for us. But I think that the success of this game is in our offense. We scored 30 goals, and that's the first time we scored 30 goals in this tournament.
But that that only helps you because you're not doing as much work.
Yeah, it pumps it up as well. I mean, and if I'm getting blocks on the goal, my team also is like more confident to not get 2-minute suspensions or go for those, weird fouls.
Do you have the Wallinga? Do you have the schedule graphic ready?
Yep. Give me 1 second here.
No worries.
So with that win, you guys are going to be playing for 5th place. It's Minnesota Green.
At 12:30.
Got to get back to my hotel so I can check out before this game.
Absolutely.
I would like to give a shout out to Chris, the other goalkeeper, my backup. Usually people say we look like twins. He was wearing black pants, and he did a good job too when I was sitting out resting.
All right, so Fargo-Moorhead will play Minnesota Green at 12:30 with Milwaukee, or with that loss for Milwaukee. They play Minnesota Black for 7th place at 11:15. It's been a pleasure having you up here.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
And that will do it. Nathan Gomes, our player of the game for Fargo-Moorhead, and we will have NYAC coming up as day 3 of the Minnesota Fall Classic continues. back at Kennedy Activity Center, game 2 of the final round of pool play upcoming between NYAC and Chicago Inter. Jeff Disher, Josh Wallinga, Ryan Peterson should join us upstairs as well at some point in the opening half. Both of these teams, Josh, impressed the heck out of me over the course of their games yesterday. But especially NYAC, as NYAC was not here last year. NYAC really came to the fore, and they look to continue to do that early on a Sunday morning.
Yep. NYAC's always a great team to play against. Josh Hedrick, our president, calls them our big brothers because I know Josh is friends with quite a few of them. We also have quite a few national team players on there. They're a small squad, but they've been playing together forever. I don't think the team has changed very much, if at all. They maybe added a player here for seven seasons. This will be the 7th season I've been playing. And honestly, I love seeing NYAC play, and I know Chicago is going to be pumped because Chicago needs a win to get in the championship game, and I know they want to play a CalHeat or West Point.
So what we're effectively saying is NYAC is small and mighty.
Exactly. Yep.
Underway. Incidental buzzer, and we're underway as it'll be NYAC in the black with white numerals taking the opening possession.
This is going to be a very technical game. 2 very seasoned squads. You're going to see a lot of fast movement, a lot of plays set. You're going to see slows like this.
Ali delivers down low. Bartlett with the opening goal of the game, 31 seconds in. I believe in game 1 we had a goal at that exact juncture as well. So both of these teams coming to the fore early as NYAC with the 1-0 lead about a minute in.
Yep. NYAC wants to go hard and fast. Chicago has a very solid defense. Slight blunder there.
Ali scores 2-0.
Yep. And honestly, they're gonna have to shut Ali down. He's been a monster this tournament.
And the straw that stirs NYAC's drink.
Exactly. I think if they can shut him down and calm him down and force the center back to run more plays, number 17 to run more plays, 17 and 13, that if they can do that, if Chicago can do that, I think they're gonna really put it to NYAC.
2-0 our score as Chicago Inter controls. Asaric with a shot that goes wide. 23 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the first half. 2-0 our score. Chicago Inter with possession. Asaric at the center back. Ball blocked on his shot. Inter will keep possession as Asaric gets this from Philippe.
Yep, he likes taking those shots. Asaric, number 99.
Ebert, swim moves around one. He got blasted with a fist to the fruit and vegetables.
Yep.
Check the produce. Asaric scores.
Just about to say, I mean, third shot should go in. NYAC's really good about trying to block that, but, you know, NYAC's not going to come up from 7. They're going to stay on 7 and force you to shoot those long ones, and most of the time the goalie's going to get that. That one just snuck through.
King at the top of the attack for NYAC. Drops this off to Recker. King, cross court. Ali, shot and a save made by Chicago Inter's goalkeeper.
Yep.
They race into the front court. Shot and a goal there. Shandar.
Great save by Patrick, the Chicago goalkeeper. He's a good keeper. Chicago really needed that. Ali is exploiting his quickness, or exploiting Chicago's defense with his quickness.
Ali up and over the cage. It was deflected on the way through. Jalabert had a great game yesterday as Chicago Inter advances into their attack. Quick shot by Aseric. Goes by the wayside thanks to a whistle.
Yep. Chicago's going to really push their defense. Also going to test the goalie a lot more than previously. So
Inter with possession as this goes to Ebert. Ebert to Aseric. Aseric goes to Philippe. Philippe scores.
Yep.
3-2 Chicago.
Chicago wants to get ahead. If they get ahead, they're going to try to stay ahead.
NYAC looking for an answer. Quick shot by Bartlett, kicked away. Will stay here. Impressive save from Patrick Jalabert.
Yep. Forced them to make those difficult shots.
I don't think that was the shot they wanted to select. As Jalabert, another save there. He doesn't make the third shot and a goal. It is now 3-all.
2 out of 3 say,
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 is terrible if you're taking a test, but amazing if you're a handball goalkeeper.
Chicago Inter with possession in their attack. This goes down low thanks to Ebert. Shot saved. Incidental contact on the way back as NYAC will advance across the timeline with King.
Yep, this game you're going to see a lot of back and forth. Apologies if you get a headache from the camera moving back and forth so much. That's how these teams play.
King with a shot that gets blocked. Under 20 minutes to play in the game's opening half.
And mind you, the winner of this game moves on to the championship, so both teams have a lot on the line.
There's a lot to play for. Loser to third place.
Yep, third place is still really, really good, but they want the win. They want the big W of the tournament.
King loads and fires from the top of the attack. He scores 4-3 in favor of the New York Athletic Club.
And one thing to note, too, is NYAC, since they are a seasoned team, they know to get back on defense right away. As soon as they score, 5 out of the 6 players are going back immediately.
Sprinting back.
Yep.
Chicago Inter looking for an answer. Ebert, right side. Quick shot and a save made.
Great save by the keeper. Simple kick up. Looks easy. I'll tell you it's not.
It's not. Ali dumped it off. He got it far side. Considine. Shot and a kick save made by Jalabert. Chicago Inter advances up the floor. They're down a goal. Top of the attack. And a quick shot thwarted by the whistle. Clock rolls, 18:35 left to go in the first half. 7-meter throw coming for Aseric. Now, would you say Aseric is the 7-meter specialist for Chicago Inter? Didn't prove it on that play as a kick save made. He went far post and got foiled. Goalkeeper guessed right.
Yep. So one thing, too, is when you have the same 7-meter thrower, you can kind of figure out where they're going to shoot because they have tendencies. Aseric always shoots to the bottom, either left or right, and if the NYAC keeper knows it, which he might, he's going to guess, okay, one of those spots. And that's just what happens. Even Europe, that's what happens too. Goalkeepers will sit there hours and hours and hours watching 7-meter throws to figure out the tendencies of those shooters.
Ali advances this across with King. King at the center back, driving the attack. King, cross court, right wing, quick shot and a goal.
All right, score is 4-3 now. We're going off of the table. The table is going to be more accurate than we are. So apologies for that score disparity there for a second.
4-3 our score.
Yep, that is correct.
17 and a quarter remaining in the first half of play. There are times this weekend where we've been correct and the table has been slow. However, not in this case, as head contact halts the play.
2 minute? Yep, that'll be a 2
yes.
minute. So
not a 7-meter though.
Nope. 7 meters will happen if the person is going to shoot. That one they were just driving towards the net. they didn't get the ball
Not
off.
necessarily a shooting foul.
Exactly.
Ebert gets this one back, drops it, right wing, shot and a goal.
Yep, that's a good one.
4-all.
Yep, lefty on the right wing is weird, I know. That's going to be good shots for them. All they have to do is get the ball and dive towards the middle, and with their left arm extended, they're going to try to put it in the opposite corner.
So sort of think about that like a la a switch hitter in baseball.
Yes.
Shot off
Good
the
save.
frame. Jalabert also made that save and got a little help with an act of God.
Yep, you got to love those. Hear the ding, or hear the smack of the hand and then the ding of the crossbar. You know that thing's not going in.
That crossbar is a keeper's best friend. Both of us can attest to that.
Yep, I think I'm going to start next year. I'm going to start keeping a crossbar counter, and then throughout the tournament, and at the end, we'll take an over or under to determine
There you go.
how many crossbars were hit throughout the tournament. All right, off the goalkeeper, the reason why NYAC doesn't get the ball is because it went out of bounds.
They touched it last.
Yep. If it went off of the end line along the goal, that would have been NYAC ball.
Ebert, no, check that. Up over the cage, and NYAC will control. 15 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the first half. Advancing across is Considine. Considine goes in front off the iron, and NYAC gets possession. I think this is the first time this weekend where we've seen the potential for more than a one-and-done possession thanks to the crossbar.
Yep.
Considine shoots off the bar again. Picked up by Sturette. Sturette around one. He is hacked to the floor before the shot goes off, leading to a whistle. And he expertly drew that body contact, which caused the foul.
Yep. NYAC is quick, and they know where the ball is going to end up after a crossbar shot. That's why they're able to recover it. A lot of time you just think it's going to go out of bounds, but
Ali sacrificing himself there, and possession goes over to Chicago.
Yep, Chicago needs to score here. If they do,
Ebert, far wing.
Yep.
Ebert took steps, and that will lead to a NYAC possession. King across the timeline. Right, quick, up and down we go. King off the crossbar.
One of these days he's going to get that. That's
Yeah.
3 shots to the same spot. I think each time it's getting a little lower. So
And the law of averages says the more you shoot, the more, or the
law of big numbers states you're going to get it eventually.
Yep. 13:50 to go. First half of play. 4-all. Our score. Second game of pool play on a Sunday. Final round of pool play for the tournament.
Yes.
Quick shot there, because placement games start at 11:15 with 7th place.
There's one more.
Yep.
One more pool play game. We got
Yep.
CalHeat and West Point after this.
So let me rephrase. The second of 3 final pool play games.
Yep.
Happy? There we
Yes,
go.
There we go.
7th place at 11:15.
Yep, exactly.
King works this on. Ali had it
Over.
launch on him.
Looking for a call there. That was just good defense by Chicago.
That's what's kept Chicago in the game as this one goes to Ebert. Far side, save made,
It's me 7, yep.
and a 7-meter throw up coming for Chicago Inter.
So that one, I believe the NYAC players stepped in the no-go, no-fly crease zone, whatever you want to call it. Yep, forgot about that one. So,
Should put some caution tape around that.
yep, we did black tape. Next year we're going to do yellow tape. It's just going to be easier to see. You live and you learn.
Shot and a goal. Canosa, who was a player of the game yesterday. We will have that post-game interview with the player of the game. We will also have an updated look over the course of the game at the placement matchups that, again, start at 11:15 this morning. Milwaukee taking on Minnesota Black in that 7th place game.
Yep, that game, with the way the teams have been playing, is going to be a really good one.
They're at the same level.
Exactly. Honestly, Fargo surprised me, but I'm really glad to see them doing well. Milwaukee, if they keep playing like that, I think Minnesota Black's going to give them a run for their money. But more on that later.
Philippe got it to Ebert. Ebert had his shot disappear off iron.
Yep, that one hit the crossbar in the back of the net. That one got buried.
7-4 our score. I had initially thought it stayed out.
Yep, so when we set up the nets, I set that net up, and I messed up, and I put the net on the outside, so it's a lot tighter, and you're going to see a lot more crossbars going out. Which can be good because you can get the ball back to the middle quicker, but, yeah, it can cause confusion, especially if you're watching from up here.
Ball goes across the midline, and Chicago Inter enters their attack. 7-4, they are up. Surprising start from New York Athletic Club, though, as Lopez handles this. Lopez with a shot, partially blocked, and now NYAC on the break. Into the attack, and the pass too far for Considine. And I don't know if he could have run any faster to that ball. I don't know that he would have gotten there.
Yep, so NYAC, this is kind of how NYAC's played the last two games. Played against Minnesota Green. They were down 7-2 at one point. Minnesota Black kept them within 1 or 2. So this is, from this tournament, typical NYAC. The second half is where they're really going to start. So I think what they're trying to do right now is just stem the bleeding as much as they can, figure out Chicago, because there are some newer players on Chicago, and try to exploit mistakes like that.
Here comes Considine. His pass was intercepted. And now Chicago Inter comes back up the floor.
Yep.
Shot, top of the attack, scores 8-4 now. 9:45 left to go first half. Timeout called by NYAC.
Yep.
And how did we get here?
Chicago's been exploiting NYAC's slowness to start games. Like I said, not even a minute ago, NYAC has been pretty slow to start this tournament, but once they get their groove going, it's kind of like a train engine is what I would say.
Okay.
They get a little slow to get going, but once they get going, they're just barreling down the rails. Chicago's been doing really good. They haven't missed shots over. They had like 1 or 2 maybe. And NYAC's actually missed 4 or 5, including 3 off the crossbar.
And so this game could be even closer than the 4-goal spread that we're seeing now.
Yep. I mean, even if those 3 crossbars are down, 8-7 within 1.
Feel free to contribute to the chat on the right side of your screen, unless you're in full screen mode, obviously.
Yeah.
I see another comment.
Jovan Milikovic, I think that's how you say your name. Sorry if I butchered it. Says, let's go Chicago. Chicago, you got a fan from afar. It's great to see it.
Windy City love, never a bad thing.
Exactly.
I have heard that their stuffed pizzas in Chicago are some of the best around.
Yep. I had a true deep dish pizza for the first time a couple of years ago from Chicago. I will never have a deep dish pizza anywhere else.
Where at, if I can ask?
I don't even remember the name. I'd have to go dig through my phone. If you want nice steamed fish, I would recommend coming up to Duluth on the North Shore. Some
lutefisk?
Not lutefisk.
Okay,
it's actually,
there is a difference then.
Yes, there is a big difference.
Okay.
But food talk aside, game started again.
King Ali shoots. Hand to the goaltender, crossbar, and Jalabert smiling.
Yep.
On the ricochet, Chicago Inter scores. That's Chandar, 9-4. As NYAC's Will Considine harmed, foul called. NYAC will maintain possession.
Yeah, I don't know about the 2 minutes on that.
There was a 2-minute called.
Yep.
Okay.
So with penalties, usually you want to start throwing yellow cards right away. If you don't see a yellow card on the first penalty and it's a 2 minutes, every penalty after is probably going to be 2 minutes.
King on the near side. This is Ali at the top of the attack. Ali shoots. Jalabert, kick save made. A la Joey Williams. And Jalabert says, anything Williams can do, I can do just as well.
Yep.
Quick shot and a save made. Out of play it goes. Will stay here. NYAC with the ball. And another extended possession. Ali. Up the far side, gets it back. Ali tried to get through 2. 1 into 2 doesn't go. Whistle goes. Halting play. Clock rolls. 8:24.
This has been a strong defense, especially since Chicago's been man down.
King drops this off. Got it far side. Wrecker with the goal. 9-5 now.
Yep. Honestly, I'm gonna say it. This is a tournament of goalies. Myself.
You're not wrong though.
Myself, Patrick, Joey, everybody,
Yeah.
all the goalies. Shout out to you all. Like, the games have been close because of the goalies, and strong defense. And I'm
With one exception, yes.
I have a tear rolling down my face
Because
of how well people have been playing and making great stops.
great shot there offensively from NYAC as they are now within 3. 7:20 to go in the first half.
Yep, and NYAC, I think, is starting to figure things out. They're starting to get their game going again. NYAC likes playing the fast break. Chicago does too, but Chicago likes playing more of a second wave. So you'll see Chicago run down with their wings and their pivot, and then you'll have the center backs stay back. And so the goalie will pass it to the center back, and then that's when you get a play going. Otherwise, initially, they're looking for a fast break for the wings. And NYAC is just looking for a fast break right away.
And they want to take advantage of that first shot on said fast break.
Exactly.
Drop low, quick shot, great save
Good
made.
save.
NYAC couldn't take advantage with possession, so we'll stay here.
I think the goalie is starting to read that right wing now, from what I can tell.
How do you answer that if you're Chicago Inter?
What you want to do is you want to switch it up, force him to make that step out, and then go to the short side post.
Scramble for the ball, top of the arc. NYAC with possession, and they throw it away. But they'll maintain possession because Chicago touched it last.
Yep. You can't have that happening if you're NYAC. You need to take care of the ball.
Especially down 3.
Exactly. Now three is doable, especially with 6 minutes left in the first half.
King, Ali gets through 2, got the shot away as he was going down, but the foul called as he drew body contact.
Yep, he wants to try to draw that penalty. I'm glad the refs are seeing that. Hey, it's just 2 physical teams.
Michael King there with the goal, 9-7.
Yeah, he's got a shot. Michael King has got a rocket arm. What was it? Rockets of mass destruction arm or something.
The weapons of handball destruction would be
Yes.
West Point.
Yep. So those ones are going to be tough. Patrick just kind of like, you know what, I'm throwing my body out here. I got to do what I can to try to save this. And if you do, great. If not, well, that's probably going like 50, 60 miles an hour.
Quick shot, save made, Jalabert.
Yep.
Or actually, I will check that. That was NYAC's goaltender, Lippert. Yes.
Yep. Patrick.
Aaron Lippert.
Yep. Lippert's going to be on NYAC. Jalabert is going to be
on Chicago Inter.
Yep.
Yep. Ali got through 2, got the shot away before the whistle, but he traveled.
Yep. Keeping the clock rolling.
We spoke with Michael King a little earlier. He is scheduled to join us for the CalHeat West Point game coming up.
Yep.
That will end pool play.
Yep, 2 banger of games. NYAC and Chicago playing for a championship in their group, or to go to the championship.
Wrecker on the break, scores.
Yep. And then West Point and CalHeat, both of them are playing for the championship game as well. So we got the 7th place and 5th place game set. The decider of this game and the next one, winners of those are going to go to the championship game.
So a lot to play for down the line.
Yep. And the spread between Group 1, which is West Point and CalHeat, is within 4 goals. It's not really going to matter for a score, but it's good to see.
Ebert with the shot there that's stifled. Fast break for NYAC. Ali kick,
Good
save made. Jalabert.
They needed that to be stopped, and Patrick was like, I will oblige.
Anything Joey Williams can do, Patrick Jalabert can do just as well.
Yep. Patrick would definitely be on the Joey Williams foot save award. I'm going to talk to Josh, and I'm going to try to get save of the tournament, and that'll be the award.
Like a bronze or a
bronze
gold,
cast
gold.
of Joey's leg.
2:55 left to go in the first half of play. NYAC with the ball with Joshua Linga, Jeff Disher up high at the Kennedy Activity Center, day 3 of the Minnesota Fall Classic.
In all seriousness, no, Joey's a great guy. Everybody here is great people.
King shoots
Ooh,
this, scores. 9 apiece, or actually 10-9 now, as
are we wrong or is the scoreboard wrong?
I
don't know. I'll let the scoreboard decide this one.
believe we are dead. Or no, it is 10-9.
Okay. Sorry for the scoreboard glitches.
We were right.
Well, we've been up since 5 in the morning. Give us a break. Much appreciated.
Break has been given. NYAC with the ball. Down 10-9 now as King handles this. Ali, top of the attack. It goes to Considine. Considine right wing. Ali shoots, scores. 10-all.
So I am getting flashbacks of the Minnesota Green NYAC game from yesterday, where NYAC started slow. They came up within 1 at the half, and then NYAC took it away. Now, if that will happen, I don't know. But if Chicago keeps making mistakes like that, it very well might.
They'll get burned, most certainly. Considine burns Chicago Inter there. And we're not saying Chicago Inter's defense is like the Berlin Wall. I'm looking at you, Milwaukee. But
it happens.
We're not there yet.
Nope. And NYAC is very good at those fast breaks, which is why you see them sprinting back right away. You have 2 players every time going back.
Halt to play, and I believe the table made a call.
Two-minute. So I think what happened, it was an illegal substitution by Chicago. My guess is the player stepped on the court or stepped off the court before the other one
stepped on.
Yes. Which very unfortunate. Those are not mistakes that you want to be making if you're Chicago.
Especially late in the half.
Yes, and with about a minute left, NYAC can capitalize off of this.
1 minute to go in the half. Ali from King goes cross court to Considine. Considine to his near wing. King gets this. King tried to get Considine. He was harmed, but a slap goal from NYAC's Devin Bartlett, and they go up 12-10, much like you just referred to.
Yep. Molecules were spacing his toe and the line. Like, you would have to get a microscope to see the difference there. Very well played by the pivot to get that in the back of the net, and yeah.
25 seconds to go, first half of play. Chicago Inter slowing the pace down a touch. Ebert goes cross court, gets this to Asurik. Asurik shoots, scores. What a goal from Asurik. 8 seconds to go in the half. NYAC advances. King around one. King looking for the final shot. He shoots and scores. 13-11 at the half. Great goals traded off in the final 15 seconds.
Yep, that was great. Very fast pace. Very cool to see. That NYAC, I think, is getting their groove again. I mean, it took them 15 minutes last. I think all 3 games, it took the first 15 minutes to get them like, okay, we got this going now.
Better late than never, I suppose. We'll pause. We'll have the second half for you coming up. back at Kennedy Activity Center for the second half of play, featuring Chicago Inter and NYAC in the second of the final round of pool play matches.
Yep. Great first half.
Jeff Disher, Josh Wallinga with you up high as Chicago Inter will start the second half. 13-11 our score through 25 minutes.
Yep, great first half. Very fast-paced, very technical, showing the strengths and weaknesses of both teams. NYAC is up by 2. Let's see if they can keep that lead up. And Chicago, see if they can close the gap. Maybe get a W out of this one.
Ebert drops this over, got it to Canosa, who goes cross court, and the shot off the iron.
Yep, when you get a save like that, you are hoping it's going to hit the crossbar, or you can maybe possibly get the second save there.
As Josh Hedrick will rejoin early moments second half, 13-11 to NYAC over Chicago. Your thoughts on what you've seen in the first 26 minutes plus?
I'll be completely honest, I have not seen anything.
Aha.
I was stuck in an office filling out some score sheets, just doing, tournament organizing stuff.
Makes sense.
But now I am free. The only thing I really need to do is start counting goals to see who's going to be the high scorer, taking home the Wilder Freed scoring title
now,
this weekend.
We had a possible addition to awards for next year, and that would be the Joey Williams right foot gold foot.
Save at the tournament.
Yeah. I'd say put it in. As far as an official, unofficial title. I think we should probably have more of those. Let's look at players in these tournaments that kind of have an epic feint, an epic 9-meter shot. I guess what we could do is, we could, spin shot. Like if someone does a really good spin shot, we could call it the blah, blah, blah spin shot award. Yeah, I like it. I like where your heads are going, everybody.
Yep.
Your thoughts on the second half, since I did not watch it.
Josh?
I'm not going to lie, Patrick's keeping him in there. I love seeing goalies doing what goalies do, and Patrick has had some monster stops, especially on the fast breaks.
And
another one.
Quick shot there by Considine goes by the wayside.
I will say, last year, so this isn't our format this year is group play, and then you get placed right into placement games. A little different. We had to make room for the schedule for 8 teams, but last year we had 6 teams and we had semifinals. Chicago played CalHeat. This was good, but Patrick was the main reason that the score was so low for who they played was CalHeat. So he's doing it again. While this is group play, this is essentially a semifinal because whatever team wins is pretty much going on to the final.
Cross-court pass, quick shot. Gelabert could not stop that. And it's 14-11 now to NYAC.
And on top of that, NYAC has had 3 crossbars and at least 3 going over.
At least.
So the lead could be bigger. And so I think Chicago is very happy to see that. And, Chicago's defense is strong to begin with. But it could be a very different story if those misses went in.
We could be looking at a tied game or a 1-goal game right now if those shots had connected.
I will say that is what happened, especially, Josh and I can talk about this as far as our game last night against NYAC, where
let's talk about it.
They had that happen in the beginning. I think at one point it was 4-0 Minnesota.
Yes.
Yep.
As we have another. But my point is, it did not affect NYAC at all. Great perseverance. Forget about the last play and just keep going, and they really turned it on right after that. So even though it's happening right now, obviously they're bouncing back.
King and Ali driving the attack for NYAC here. Ali gets it, top of the arc. He'll spin one back to Considine. Considine down low. And the shot from Recker goes up high and over the bar. 20 minutes and 2 dimes left to play second half as Chicago Inter advances. Canosa, whistle, halts play. Clock rolls, 20 minutes and 10 seconds to play.
I like the speed that Chicago's coming with, but NYAC's defense is really standing strong above the 6.
They've been firm all game. Shot goes in there. Right as I say that, commentator curse, I suppose, 14-12.
Yeah, Florian Philip, great pivot for Chicago. Been so for a while, really floats in the air and just waits for that goalie to make his first move and puts it where he's not going to be.
Considine gets this to Ali. Ali tried to get around one. He shoots and scores, although a 2-minute's been called. So the goal will go on the board. Double whammy, you allow the goal and are called for a penalty. Ebert taken off.
I did not get a great look of it, but it did look like Ali did a good swim move, and maybe the referee saw that might have been a little bit more of a higher defense, a little more defense on the neck. Very close call. I mean, 50-50, honestly. But ref has the view. Ref makes the call. That's his observation. Got to make it if that's what you see on the court as a ref.
Chicago Inter with possession. This is Canosa on the near wing. Driving the attack, believe it's Welgus. Canosa drops off. Canosa, quick shot and a save made.
Clock! Cedric!
18:48 to go in the second half of play. Looking for a stoppage to adjust the clock. Now you've got the clock rolling. We are correct up here. 18:27 to go.
Well,
in the second half, 16-13.
I would say we have it on record here. Obviously, we are doing our job.
I don't disagree.
No, I mean, one thing about a tournament is you are going to have people that played or officials from other teams that are going to be doing the table right after, as we're not fully staffed with these tournaments all the time. Got to pay more attention to that. So we'll see if it makes a big difference. That's about a 40-second swing. So, when it gets to the winding minutes, we'll see if it matters.
It's effectively one possession.
Effectively.
Yep.
Canosa shoots. Actually goes cross court as this one is given back near Welgus. Canosa switches positions. Halt to play.
What is going on?
The ball.
They want a new ball.
Underinflated ball.
All right, Tom Brady, get out of here.
I disagree with that. If Chicago wants to play with that red and blue one, oh, no, I think it's a little wet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably got something on there. Yeah, okay. It's nothing with the air of the ball. I'm about to say that ball.
It's resin.
There's resin can sometimes get dirt on it. It can be really slippery when the dirt gets on there. So what they're looking to do is basically get that off.
This is a perfect time to reset the clock.
Yeah.
In the building, at least.
I get it. Certain handball players, wherever you played, if you play with Stickum, you don't play with Stickum, they're going to be really particular about how it is. I feel like that's a little unnecessary, but whatever. We're all friends here. We'll totally allow him to do that.
Goal scored by Chicago Inter. Their last time up the floor. Considine gets this to Ali.
Yep.
Stoppage of play. Chicago Inter with the fast break. Shot and a goal. 17-15. NYAC really getting the short end of the, we'll say, clock malfunction.
Yeah,
they're up 2. Could be more than that.
Give it to the Wings for Chicago. They have had a really great tournament so far.
Ali shoots and scores.
Speaking of that, someone else who's had a really great tournament so far, Ali's been a great goal scorer, but he's been making the right decisions. I mean, him and Michael King, number 3, they've really been leading the charge as far as getting everybody in the right position to be the best they can possibly be.
Chicago Inter with possession. Aseric, who has been another player that I've been honed in on over the course of the last 2 days. That shot goes high and wide. Philippe wanted a foul, not going to get, or for his teammate, not going to get one there as New York Athletic Club drives across the line. 17 minutes to go, second half of play. King gets this to Ali. Ali harassed. Clock rolls, 16 3/4 left to play in the second half.
Good shot.
Great shot, great goal.
When NYAC swings as well, especially that left wing, especially in this game, doing a fantastic job.
Chicago Inter with possession. Canosa. Canosa shoots, scores.
That's one thing that Chicago could do is, if you really get the wings involved and they're going to start really taking them out and they're going to start really like putting the pressure on them, that could open up a lot of room for 50, for 99 to get some good open shots, or even drop it into number 7, Florin Phillip, to get an easy goal.
Canosa and Aseric have really impressed me with the Chicago Inter attack, as that goes into the restricted area, and going down his record, I believe he'll get a 7 out of this, and he will.
Referees have way better angles than we do up here. From here, it looked like it was really just a foul, but Rafa saw something a little bit more. Leads to a 7, leads to a goal.
And New York Athletic Club now up 20-16.
That's the thing about a ref. Being a ref in handball, your eyes have to be just glued to every single detail in the game. It's really challenging. Takes a lot of time to get used to it. Takes a lot of experience, a lot of in-game experience, and a lot of video watching. Not only your own games, but games that are also done, in professional leagues. Not an easy job. And again, great job by the refs, just calling it what it is, calling it both sides.
Aseric has his pass intercepted by Considine, and New York Athletic Club able to track it down 21-16 now in favor of New York Athletic Club. Not to a point that is insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination, but Chicago Inter has to get goals and stops very quickly. Whistle goes. Halt to play. I believe a hand came up high. The official's talking about it,
Yeah.
and the player gets up. I believe that was
Philippe Foreign.
Philippe.
Yeah, NYAC's just playing aggressive, but that's the way NYAC plays defense. It's how they always have. It's how they always will. Nothing illegal there as far as what the referee saw, so nothing should be called.
Chicago Inter with possession. This comes back over to Aseric. Aseric goes to the top of the attack. Shot goes wide. 14 minutes left in the half. This ball comes across the New York Athletic into the New York Athletic Club attack. Ali dishes it off, but the shot would not go. Ball out of play. New York Athletic Club maintains possession.
Bartlett did a great job of really spinning in the air and getting a squared up shot, but great stop by the goalie.
Far wing, quick shot, great angle. And the shot goes in. 13:25 to go in the second half.
Chicago wanted a travel there. Honestly, I did not have the best views, so not sure, but refs did not call it. It's a goal.
13:13 to go, second half of play. Jeff Disher, Josh Hedrick, and Josh Wallinga with you. As a whistle goes, timeout called.
Chicago.
Chicago with the timeout, with 13 and a nickel remaining in the second half. we've got one more appetizer before the main course of placement games between CalHeat and West Point.
Yep.
Let's talk about that a little bit as Mike King is scheduled to join us for that contest. Let's talk about what we're all expecting to see with West Point and CalHeat.
Well, you'll see a lot of running from West Point,
Indeed.
but I believe that CalHeat will actually be able to match that pretty well. They've been doing that as well in their games. It's really going to be experience against inexperience. West Point, inexperienced, but very well athletic and shape, strong. And then you have CalHeat, a little more technical. They know strategies. They know exactly how to play teams that are going to run and gun. So it really is just going to be who's going to be able to last longer. Obviously, for these teams, it'll be the third game of the weekend. Yeah, it's two different sides of the coin pretty much. Completely different looks, completely different styles. So we'll see basically what team lasts the longest and scores the most goals.
And does playing Green's first game Friday help you in terms of rest, if you will?
I think it does. I am all about just having one day of the weekend where you play two games. There's just something different about it. If you can get that one game on Friday, stretch out, get some rest, and then know that Saturday you got to play two games, just kind of have that mindset mentality. And then Sunday, depending on like where you stand, how early, how late you play, you only have one game to focus on. The mentality with that is, okay, put it all on the line. I got a ton of rest until next practice or next tournament. That's the way I personally like it. Other people might be different, but I feel like my body recovers better like that.
You know what? From my playing days as a hockey goaltender, I would be inclined to agree with you. And as a hockey broadcaster in my normal, or one of my normal lines of work, with 2 days between games mostly, I use that middle day to recover and get myself ready data-wise for the next game. Granted, I have a lot of data to look at and pour over. King, bear hugged.
The one thing I like about Mike King is he just really lets the defense come to him, and he makes just the best decision. Again, I feel like Ali and King, they just do a really, really great job of making sure that they put their players in the best position. A lot of these players, 13, 17, 23, I think that's Bartlett, Constantine. Unfortunately, I can't remember 13's name, if you can help me out.
13, Blake Havern.
Younger players. I mean, the vets here are 33, 3 and 6, 33. Wrecker, yeah. Those are the vets on this team that really know a lot. And then, you have a lot of these other players that are newer to it. But that's the thing is, like, if you have great leadership and you have guys that know, hey, yeah, I can take that shot on my own when it's available, but I'm going to really just put myself in the best position to really feed and really get my players in the right position. That's why NYAC is up 23-16 right now. And I'm not saying Chicago isn't doing the same thing. It's just Chicago is trying to find those answers. And I don't know, maybe they're being too eager. Maybe they're trying to do too much one-on-one. But let's take a note from NYAC. Play as a team. Be the person that's going to draw it in, like, 99, 50. Like, going for those shots and try and draw something. See if you can get 34 or 29, some of the wings working. Even something like that works perfect, where 50 is all the way out there, 34 really cuts in to look like he's attacking, give it right to 50 with speed, and 50 is a good enough player to get through that gap.
Now, yesterday, when Chicago Inter played one of their group games, I believe it was Joey Williams and I equated Pablo to Tone Loc. Funky Cold Molina.
I like that.
Thoughts?
I am a fan of that. Tone Loc, very underrated 90s artist.
33 years that reference goes back, so almost, not to go with age, but almost as old as yours truly, who has a birthday in about a month from now.
Hey.
King. Got it over to I believe that was
That's a foul.
33.
Yep.
And a foul called there. Halt play. Clock rolls. 10:22 left to go.
So we got a passive play right now, everybody. So I believe more than likely, so when the hand goes up there, you have only 4 passes before it can be a turnover. I think they only have 2 passes left.
So basically, you've got to throw this one in.
You got to throw that one in right now. You can't do much with it. And great defense. I think they only have 1 pass left. They got to, yep. So look, Mike King is going to take it. I think he's going to take this shot.
Have to. Does.
Oh.
And he scored, I believe.
No, he did not. It went off the post.
It came out.
Great job by Mike King, though.
Quick shot on the ricochet, stays out. And here comes Sean Surratt.
Post and post, both sides. So it pretty much evens out. Great job on NYAC's part for understanding the passive play. Great job on, I guess you could pretty much say the captain, Mike King's efforts and being like, this is it. I got to try and make a goal. Very close. Didn't make it, though.
Sturette drops that off, far wing. Whistle halts play. I believe a timeout's been called somewhere.
So 23-17, 9:18 left on the court scoreboard, as you can see on the screen. We have 8:44, excuse me. So
34-second differential is a possession, effectively.
Yep. So we'll say basically 9 minutes left in the game. 23-17. Chicago's still not out of this, but they got to get something going
now.
And I really, exactly. And I really feel like, yes, you got to get that speed on offense. I don't feel like offense is really the biggest struggle that I've been seeing because they have been getting opportunities and they've been picking the right decisions. I mean, credit NYAC. They've been staying strong over the crease in the 6-meter defense, just keeping it pretty much 6-0. Chicago, defense, got to get it up. You can't give up those wing shots.
Yep.
You can't have Mike King just do a one-cut, get in and almost make a shot when it's a passive play.
You've got to defend that.
You've got to defend that. You've got to be a lot more aggressive if you want to get back into this game. So hopefully that's what the timeout really helps for them to regroup and figure out, do you start taking out Mike King? Do you start, taking out a player and then let these young guns try and just, get it going? They got to figure out something. So we'll see what happens.
Wouldn't you want to take out the straw stirring the drink if you're Mike King?
Well, maybe, but at the same time, he's very versatile. He could still be dangerous with that, but you got to do something. 5-1, even do a little bit of a, I don't know. See, exactly like that. 19, not a typical center back in this offense. I believe he plays for Columbus Armada, and he does play center back. But again, that's more of a, it's not an elite division team. It's a lower division. Basically, it's more of an open division team. I know last Nationals they played in Open 2, but I mean they're pretty much swing as far as the Columbus Armada, and he does a fantastic job. Oh, nice job right there.
Great pass.
See, and that's it. That's the step up you want to see. If they're going to take out Mike King, you want to see 19, you want to see 17, you want to see 13 really step up their game because that might be what happens. But if Chicago keeps playing 6-0. I think NYAC is going to take this.
Considine to take the 7-meter, scores. 8:17 to go, 23-18 our score. Or 24-17, excuse me. Still about 34 seconds between the clock that you see at the bottom of your screen and the clock in the building. And if you want to contribute throughout the course of the day in the chat, go right ahead on the right side of your screen. We will answer questions or go with comments as they come up. King scores. Don't need to say it doesn't get any prettier than that. As Chicago Inter comes back up the floor. Ebert gets this. No relations that we know of to the once famous movie reviewer for the Chicago Sun-Times. That would be Roger Ebert. Whistle goes and a foul called. I did not see a 2-minute go up, so Chicago Inter will handle possession. Ebert goes to the center back, and it is Canosa who scores. He was a player of the game once yesterday. And NYAC will look to answer as they cross the timeline. Ali, who took a pretty big bump not too long ago, but he got up and appears fine. King, the straw that stirs the drink, goes to the center back. Quick shot. Considine scores.
Great shot by Considine. I mean, he just put her right in the place that Patrick could not get it. Nothing much he can do.
Whistle before the shot. Up where Grandma hides the cookies. Chicago Inter with possession near side, 6.5 minutes. The clock, not the friend of Chicago Inter. Florin got that down low. Quick shot, but a whistle goes. A 2 minutes been called.
Yeah, ill-advertent by Mike King. He honestly was playing defense on the back player and just kind of just ran into the wing player just with momentum and maybe a little bit of momentum gravity going with the other player.
Double whammy, if you will. You get the 2 minute, give up the 7 meter. Canosa scores, so a double whammy against New York Athletic Club.
Watch New York really bleed the clock. But yeah, okay, thank you, Chicago. Now we are really, yep, no. So the referee's not going to allow 50 to really just like body up on 6. Yep, you basically got to keep a little bit of distance like that.
Saw the open angle, and that was Jalabert with the save.
That was only like 10, 15 seconds, so Chicago's really got to capitalize on this. It's only a 6-point game.
Ebert goes cross court.
There you go,
shot
5-point
goal.
game. Okay, so yeah, so this is big. Chicago's got to keep doing this. Yep, they got to play aggressive. Number 13 of NYAC had a pretty open shot. Didn't make the best shot, but Patrick did stop that. They got to get something going. Here we go. There we go.
Tried to get to Ali, or tried to get to, I will check myself, Windish with that pass. And a nifty move and a nifty save made by Aaron Lippert. Haven't called his name much.
So one thing about this actually, and I did talk to the refs about this, Josh, because there was a defender holding him and he shot, it won't be, it maybe should have been a 9, possibly, but that's about it because the defender did hold on to him, and if the ball does go directly to the face, it's kind of it maybe might not have been the offensive player per se, but if there was no defender holding him and it was just him, clear shot and hit him in the face, absolutely that, but a 2 minute.
But a shot to the face is a shot to the face.
It is, but at the same time, if a defender has him, nice. Oh, but great save by the goalie. That was a huge save.
Revenge for the face shot.
In return, Jalabert halts that. Speaking of people being struck, that goal scored.
5-point game.
Is the official who got struck in the produce section in the earlier game okay? Because he looked it right after he got hit. He's okay.
He's doing okay.
Good.
I can confirm he watched the replay and he was laughing about it. So he sent it to his friends. He's a fun guy. Really glad he could make it out.
Considine scores 27-22.
Okay, so that's lucky.
Chicago getting lucky in possession. Ebert controls near wing. But you can't be doing that down 5 late in the going. That shot will wipe away. 2 minute called.
Okay. Chicago has another opportunity. After this 2 minute, it'll be basically 3:20. It'll be 1:23 left. So what we have to look at is, again, how does Chicago respond with defense being 5 down? Are they going to... Oh, we got a bloody lip here.
So he's got to come off and be substituted for. You're down 5 with 3:23 to go, and I believe you're also down a man.
They are up a man.
Up a man.
Yep, NYAC is down a man. So they really got to capitalize on this. Don't waste too much time. Get the goal scored ASAP.
And it's a
nice
save made. Rebound.
Oh.
Will hang here. Halt to play.
Hopefully Mike's okay.
King
that was a pretty
took
rough
it.
drive.
And they're asking for the trainer to come on. But I was going to say, with NYAC being down a man, if you're Chicago, that doesn't end on a goal. You want to take advantage wherever possible. And we'll have a halt to play here with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the second half.
Oh, 1 second, guys.
And Joshua Linga, this is the first, I would say, real major injury that we've seen this weekend.
Yeah. So getting up is a good thing. It looks like he hit his nose. I have it on a second screen watching, and it looked like the Chicago player was trying to jump for the ball, ended up kind of landing on his back just slightly and tried to roll over him to not go. And I think what happened is he hit his nose on the ground.
Inadvertently.
Inadvertently, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you have 3 people going for the ball. It's going to happen. The thing you're worried about is like a concussion, a broken nose, a broken tooth, like that kind of thing.
Yep.
So if he's walking out and he can walk out of his own volition, that's good. And if it's just a bloody nose, hopefully it's not broken. I mean, it could. We don't want that to happen. The fact that he's able to get up, big thing.
Good thing.
Very good thing. Handball injuries can be really bad because you're jumping, you're flopping, you're flying, and you're landing on this hardwood almost.
Yep. And it doesn't bounce back.
Nope. In Europe and even at Nationals last year, we had soft. It's a lot more a little more give. It's a little springier.
Okay.
So you can get that lift, which is really cool, but it also doesn't hurt as much when you fall.
So back to play with 3 minutes to go. Chicago enter with possession as Canosa delivers this to the near wing. Quick shot, save made, rebound, and that goes in. Florin with the goal. 27-23.
Yep, Chicago needed that. It's good on the pivot to be there, get the rebound.
And they're on a score-at-will power play, if you will, so you can score as many times as you want in this 2-minute exchange.
Yep.
But a whistle will halt the progress of New York Athletic Club for a moment. 2:32 left to go as the clock halts.
That looked like it was a 2-minute on Acerek. Yep.
So even up for about 49 seconds.
Yep.
Quick shot and a goal for NYAC.
And if you're playing even as NYAC, that's what you want, because you'll be up for the last minute of the game at this point.
Chicago Inter with the shot. That was Canosa, and he has his pocket picked. It'll go to Windish. He shoots and scores. 2 minutes and 8 left to go in the contest. Chicago answers, and they are like the Bee Gees, staying alive.
As much as they can.
Down 5 with under 2 minutes to go.
And if you're NYAC, you have to slow us down. You just need to pass it, get a passive play.
Windish goes to Recker. And now Chicago Inter with possession. Not what you want to see if you're NYAC.
Nope. I mean, you have enough comfortable. You have a comfortable lead. As long as you don't make dumb mistakes.
Like that.
Yep. I mean, Chicago can score 4 goals in a minute. About a minute 07.
1:19 to go in the game. Right on cue.
Yep, cast or curse. That's always how it is. Clock disparity, we want to apologize. I believe the clock that we have is accurate.
I would say it's correct.
Yep. And give or take like 5 seconds, 10 seconds maybe.
And now Chicago Inter driving the floor.
Yep, big save. Very big save by NYAC.
Huge for NYAC.
Yep, I think 3 goals in 30 seconds. It can be done. I think NYAC's just going to play it down. Going to try to hang on to the ball. Still got to move, but it's pretty much just play keep away at this point.
NYAC with possession, far side, and the shot tipped out by Jalabert. 23 to go. 29-26. And
I believe
the scorer was Bartlett.
Yep, I believe that's going to be the game.
I would say so.
Yep, 10 seconds left on the clock. 4-goal disparity.
Nope.
Fortunately, you're not getting it.
So who do we go with, Josh's, for player of the game in your eyes?
Well, I was going to say Mike King, but he's a little injured right now, so I think we'll get Ali up here. I'll talk to him.
Second time this weekend for Ali.
Yep.
We'll have Omar Yassin Ali for the player interview, or for the player of the game interview in a moment. However, we have one more pool play game to prepare for, as CalHeat will take on West Point, and that comes your way in a few moments. But we have to talk to Ali first before we can get there. We'll do that next. Jeff Disher back with Josh Hederick, Josh Walinga, and Omar Yassin Ali. Same song, different verse. Welcome back, player of the game, second time this tournament. Your thoughts on, first, Mike King's brush with the floor at the end of the game, and how that, that really didn't impact you guys too much, since the game result was really seeded at that point. Thoughts on that?
Well, as always, thank you so much for having us. This tournament is so great and a great organization. So first of all, thank you very much for having us. And second, yes, Mike was that's the type of mentality we play with. We do it or die, that kind of mentality. Even though we're starting to develop our chemistry, as you guys saw. I know it takes time, but we have to play for the ball. And as you saw, Mike did that, and that's what we all do. And after Mike did that, we have to reorganize our strategies a little bit, so that way we continue the game with the same rhythm.
Yeah.
And you guys have had chemistry to the likes of which we maybe only have seen one other team that I can think of, at least West Point, all weekend. And how do you prepare for your placement game coming up this afternoon?
We will watch our game today, what happened, and we learn from our mistakes, and we try to go forward, not doing the mistake again. It's simple chemistry, it's simple handball. That's the basic line what we do here. We're not looking to do anything like a professional, just simple ball, simple handball. That way we all can have a good chemistry going on forward.
Josh Hedrick.
And so looking at it, obviously this is a little different NYAC team, a little bit more of a half A, half B. You could kind of almost say like that. You know, a lot of usual NYAC players we see that aren't at this tournament. So tell me a little bit more about the leadership that like you, Alex, and Mike are kind of having to take over as far as bringing in some of these new players and the chemistry. But also, I was talking about it in the broadcast. Like I felt like it was you three, especially you and Mike, you were doing such a great job of setting up those young players for success. How do you assess that, and how are you feeling so far about the efforts?
Well, first we have to acknowledge their feeling. You know, it's a new feeling. They absorb it slowly. So we have to acknowledge that. I cannot just go hammer on them in the first moment.
Yep.
So first, just absorb their attention a little bit, play with them slowly, and gradually let them get inside the game of the zone of the game. Once they get that, we watch them slowly, and we be agile with them. If it's not working, it's okay. Don't worry. We all will miss shots. It's all right. Then we go back again. The whole deal is in defense. If you mess up there, I want you back in the defense so we get that ball. Once they establish that foundation, and thanks to our cab, he's our coach, Chris, he taught us this. Get in defense, get the ball going. That you could miss, you could make a mistake in the offense. So me and Alex and Mike, we're trying to observe the new players' attention, make them slowly get inside the game. And once they get inside the game is done.
Yeah.
Final question to you.
CalHeat, West Point. Winner goes to face you all in the first place championship game. Who are you thinking is going to win, and what are you going to be looking for in the game?
That's a really good question. There is no right or wrong answer to this question.
No.
You know, those kind of tournaments, the statistic difference. You know, maybe I'm leaning towards CalHeat. The reason why, because they have a good coach, a good experience, a good momentum, and perhaps a good chemistry. So looking from them, looking forward to have them in the final. But you never know. Maybe West Point will surprise us with different statistic. They'll maybe run the game very hard in the beginning and hold it tight the rest of the game. But either team is going to win. We will study them a little bit. Once again, do simple handball. Our game is in defense. That's our rule. So first of all, solid defense, simple handball and offense, and the ball will be in the net.
So you want to you want to keep the game low.
Yep, absolutely. The whole idea we have here is I want to control the game on my rhythm. Because if the other team, let's say is faster, have more bench, and if you guys realize we don't have as much as bench, we want to control the game in our rhythm. So what does that mean? As you saw, guys, yesterday game, we were not doing so much in the beginning, but what we did is we control the game, we hold tight, and we play our rhythm. So the other team has to catch up with us. That's our strategy we have here.
Omar, a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you,
so
Omar.
much.
Yeah, great
Appreciate
job.
it. Thank you.
Good luck in the championship game.
You got it, boss. Thanks.
We prepare for CalHeat and West Point. That comes your way after a brief timeout. Back at Kennedy Activity Center in Bloomington, Minnesota, as The Minnesota Fall Classic continues from Kennedy Activity Center in Bloomington. CalHeat and West Point in what effectively will be your second semifinal. Winner to the title game against New York Athletic Club. But for those just joining us, Jeff Disher, Josh Wallinga, Josh Hedrick will join as his jack of all trades, master of all of them allows. West Point in the white with the dark numerals, and CalHeat in the dark with the white numerals. As we get set to play, Omen, Buzz, and Johnny, who has been up here as a player of the game over the course of the tournament, in net for CalHeat. It looks like, I believe that to be Proctor in net for West Point.
Yep.
No, I'll check myself. Proctor is a forward player. As we're underway, we'll get the West Point goaltender for you. Early moments of the first half. CalHeat with the opening possession.
Yep, big game for both teams here. Winner goes to championship. Loser goes to the bronze medal match. Still playing for medal regardless, even though it's not a medal. Third place is better than fourth, than fifth, than sixth, etc. But, you know, that's how that goes. Numbers are great.
Ogendahl at what appeared to be center back. And CalHeat could not come up with an opening goal on their first possession. This goes to Colin Gray as they cross the timeline.
Yep, that's kind of tough for CalHeat. I think CalHeat has scored in all of their opening drives. I could be wrong, but every time I watch them, it's either been the goalie saves it or they score. That one kind of, I believe, just got thrown away.
Miller to Gray. Gray gets it back. Gray goes cross court with it to Sheffield. And that has been a set play as Sheffield and Gray switch. Sheffield fakes the shot, goes to Gray. His shot saved by Buzz and Johnny.
Yep, that's a great save.
Watch the goalkeepers here as that shot goes in. CalHeat's second possession, first goal. They lead 1-0.
Yep, big save again by the goalie. Good job to the wing. Good job to the wing to box out the West Point player and then get the ball to go back.
Omid with the save on the far side for CalHeat. Loose ball controlled by West Point. Bear hug halts play clock, moves 23 and a dime left to go in the first half. An inadvertent pass intended for West Point's Mark Miller, as he didn't see it coming behind him. I don't know that he would have had the eyes in the back of his head on.
Yeah, this game is going to be a lot of back and forth. NYAC in Chicago was, but West Point is going to try to run CalHeat to the ground. And the thing is, I think CalHeat is one of the most conditioned teams here. Besides West Point, been playing together, a lot of elite players, a lot of players playing internationally as well.
Bradley jumps, drops it off, gets it to Ogendahl. Ogendahl has his shot deflected.
Yep, good defense there by West Point. Blocked it off. Going off the end line is going to be a corner throw.
Play resumes. CalHeat with possession. Far wing, loose ball. Battled for. CalHeat wins that scramble. And this goes to Ogendahl.
That's really good, CalHeat. I know they wanted to push it in, but they're like, hey, we got a ball's loose. Calm it down for a second and let's set ourselves up. Good movement.
And far wing, the shot saved. West Point will get control with Proctor. They come up court. And it goes to Gray. That shot up high may have been tipped by Buzz and Johnny. 21 and a half left to go in the first half of play as CalHeat advances. Paulus.
Oh, that's
Fast
not
turn
good.
away. Leads to a fast break. Sheffield near side. His shot off iron.
Goalie's best friend. Goalie's best friend there.
You're speaking to a former goaltender. You're not kidding.
I'd be kissing that pole.
Yeah.
I've definitely kissed that pole before.
Do you talk to them a la Olaf Kolzig?
No, I definitely give it a back rub every so often.
CalHeat with possession. Ogendahl gets this near side and dropped off by Paulus. Far wing, quick shot off the outside of the net, so it won't count. 1-0 CalHeat. I believe the table having issues again, but not with the timing at least.
Yep, nope, it should be 1-0 CalHeat. Up here in the booth, we're going to do our best to keep everything updated. It's been a long weekend.
Yeah.
15, 16 games.
Sheffield scores.
Yep. Even up right now, 1-1.
And CalHeat too quick to cross the center line.
Yep. Should be 1-1. We'll get an update here pretty soon. Apologies for technical difficulties.
We're fine up here. It's just a 7-second disparity between the game clock that we have and the game clock in the building.
Yep. All right, so that's another one.
2-1 CalHeat. As this is brought ahead by West Point. Sheffield drops to Gray, who is bear hugged to the floor, and a yellow card out.
Yep.
Can't do too much after you see the yellow card.
Yep, I believe, so since they're throwing yellow cards for the next 5 minutes, it'll be a yellow card if it's the same player making the same kind of penalty.
That'll transition to a red.
To 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes, yep.
Okay.
If they get 3 technicals, 3 2-minute penalties, good shot.
Great goal.
If a player gets 3 2-minute penalties, they get a red card.
A 2-minute call against CalHeat, and Jonathan Garcia goes off. So a power play, if you will, for the weapons of handball destruction being West Point. That will not end on the first goal. It is a score at will power play situation, if you'd like.
Yep. Different than a lot of sports, but that's just how handball is. Fast and furious.
CalHeat with possession. Ogendahl delivers as they work the cycle real well. Paulus gets this back. Paulus to Ogendahl. Ogendahl left wing gets in, shoots and scores.
That is some tricky movement there.
3-2 to CalHeat with that goal. 18-13 to go in the first half of play. Second semifinal, if you'd like, between these two. Winner to the championship game, loser plays for the bronze later today. West Point gains possession, bodies fly to the floor, and Colin Gray will keep possession for his boys.
Yep. The reason why there wasn't a call there is the player was already going down to the ground, and then he got hooked up around the neck. Good on the defensive player to just go down with him and just say, hey, if I get it, I get it.
Miller tried to get a shot away, but he got it to Gray, and Gray goes down. 17:25 to go first half of play. 3-2 to CalHeat. West Point resumes. Miller goes to Gray, who goes cross court. Cross court to Sheffield, back to Gray. Gray to Miller. Miller shoots, save Bazanjani.
Great save. He was there. The only reason he might not have gotten that is a weird bounce.
Extra attacker on for CalHeat is Paulus.
Yep. So a lot of times when you're down a player, you want to keep even strength, so you'll pull your goalie out, similar to hockey. To create an advantage for yourself and keep it even, because when you're playing 5v6, it's really hard to score.
Paulus drops over, far side. Akaro gets around one, but before the shot could go, he is whistled for a foul, or his defender is whistled for a foul. Akaro drops this off to Paulus. Paulus gets it back, Akuro shoots, scores.
He has a cannon.
That is a right-handed rocket indeed.
Yep. And also has a jump as well. Very, very high vertical, very fast shot.
And the higher in the air he goes, the harder the shot that becomes.
Yep.
As a halt to play, I believe that was Sheffield, who was the harmed party. West Point with possession, 4-2 with 16 minutes and a nickel remaining in the first half. Gray works this down low, got it to Miller. Gray and switching is Proctor. Trying to get a shot away was Middlebrooks. He regains possession. This goes to Miller. Gray, Miller, waiting. Gets the pass away. Quick shot, quick goal, Middlebrooks. And a quick restart for CalHeat.
It's a good shot to the corner. Make the goalie spread out.
Bear hug halts play. Clock rolls 15 and a half.
Yep, this is starting to look a little more like CalHeat. A little slow to start. This game, though, they're starting out quicker. I mean, it's been 10 minutes, but they're starting to get their groove, get their passes, set up plays. That's what they need to be doing, and that's what they're doing.
CalHeat with possession in their attack. This comes to Paulus. And now it'll go over to Ogendahl. Ogendahl, loose ball. CalHeat maintains possession.
Oh.
Right as I say that, West Point takes the ball. Miller scores.
Yep.
4-all. 14:48 to play in the first half of play. CalHeat with possession on the far side in their attack. Ogendahl, the center back. I don't know that he's he doesn't seem like a natural center back to me. But Ogendahl with possession. He'll drop that off, eventually gets it to Paulus. Paulus with a little help from Akuro. Shot and a goal. I believe that was a scoop shot.
Yep. Got his arm around the defender. Going from the side, kind of screening the goalie on that shot. Hard to stop and also hard to defend. You're going to get hit in the gut, or the goalie's got to try to save it.
West Point with possession. Gray, whistle goes. And a timeout called with 14 minutes to play in the first half. 5-4 to CalHeat. And I don't know if you do anything different if you are West Point. Being down a goal, you're right in the game and can seize the momentum right quick.
Yep, West Point wants to play a fast game. They want fast breaks. They want to try to get one or two passes and then break the defense right away. Basically, their whole thing is they're playing a game of attrition. They're trying to wear down the other team with the fast play and then be stable on defense. CalHeat, on the other hand, they're doing a very good job at not playing West Point's game, and what they're trying to do is set up plays, slow it down for them, so then that way West Point can get cold and they're not constantly hot from running back and forth so much.
And you're running back and forth up and down a court that is just bigger than a regulation basketball court that's 94 feet lengthwise.
Yep, exactly. And so I think both teams are playing how they want to play. West Point, maybe not so much, but that's because CalHeat's like, we're not going to play your game and we're going to slow it down. Minus a couple bad passes on CalHeat's part, a miss here or there. I think both teams are kind of where they want to be. Very close game, especially after 11 minutes. Couldn't ask for something better for a semifinal.
No. And this is a theoretical second semifinal. Winner to the championship game at 3 p.m. The loser will play for the bronze. Back to play we go with West Point seizing control. Gray plays catch with Middlebrooks. Gray goes down low to Miller. Swap, Proctor. Miller, Middlebrooks. Gray, Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks at the 9 goes back to Gray, whose shot is intercepted. CalHeat brings this ahead with Ogendahl. Quick shot and a quick goal. And that high-to-low shot is a weapon that CalHeat can counter with. And a whistle goes. Halt to play. Clock rolls 13:20.
Yep, that's a charge on the West Point.
Believe that was Proctor
Yep.
who was credited with the charge.
Yep, so stopping momentum there. CalHeat's like, sweet, take a breath, we'll slow down and play our game.
And a potential two-goal swing could be in progress.
Yep.
Bradley goes back to Ogadal. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we'll double-check the scores at halftime, make sure that we're synced up with them. Yeah, otherwise, just enjoy this wonderful game of handball.
The whistle a little late there as West Point regains possession.
Yep, so that one is weird. Every time you touch the ball with two hands, or when you touch the ball with two hands, or you take a step, that counts as a step even if you're standing still. So what happened is when you're on the ground, if you go hand, step, step, that's 3 of your 4 steps.
Can you go hand to hand, or does that count as a step?
I believe if you're on the ground, it counts as a step.
Okay. Shot in the goal for CalHeat.
So sometimes when you see a player stepping, like they would like pivot foot in basketball, you could do that all day in basketball. Handball, it counts as a step.
But in basketball, if you pivot and take a step, that's also a travel.
Yep, exactly.
Miller gets this to Proctor. Proctor drops off. Gets this to Gray. Gray, Miller shoots, scores.
Yep.
7-5 now. 11 and a half minutes remaining in the first half. Bear hugged was Bradley. The resumption of play with Ogadal. It will actually be, Ogadal will become the effective center back. Ogadal drops this off, gets it to Lever. Ogadal, Paulus, bear hug, halt play, 10:55 to go as the clock rolls.
Yep, so neither team is talking about the score, so we'll go with what the scoreboard says here.
6-5.
Yep. Apologies for that. Technical displays. Looking for a no-look pass. Doesn't get it.
West Point with possession and a one-goal disadvantage. They get the whistle, so they'll maintain possession. Clock halts with 10:33.
Oh. Yep. 2 minutes.
Each?
Maybe. Was it each? Nope, they're just subbing in a player. West Point just subbing in.
Okay, so West Point is up a man.
And
for 2 minutes.
Is up a point.
But this is a score-at-will man advantage for West Point.
Yep. I think if West Point can get a goal, put some pressure defense on CalHeat, and force them to make a bad pass, West Point can run away with a couple goals here.
Miller harmed. It's the foul call. Will stay here. Almost 10 minutes to go in the first half. Second effective semifinal. Winner of the title game. Loser will go and play for third place. Gray works this on. Got it to Miller. Not much further.
Yep. And so you see West Point trying to hurry up there. So far, they haven't really had any scoring opportunities. So they're trying to reset as quickly as they can to kind of gain that advantage. Over.
Gray goes to Mitchell. Mitchell throws it up and missed the net.
Yep. And CalHeat here, they're going to slow it down.
9.5 minutes to go, first half of play. We hope you're enjoying day 3 of the Minnesota Fall Classic on YouTube. If you want to contribute, do so in the chat window on the right side of your screen.
Yep. if anybody is comfortable saying, hey, I'm in this part of the U.S. or the world, that'd be great. It's good to see where people are watching from.
And who they're rooting for.
Exactly. I know yesterday Chicago and Milwaukee had quite a few fans in the chat, so let's see if we can get some more CalHeat and some West Point fans talking.
The weapons of handball destruction advance into their offense. Miller gets this. Miller drops it off, and he got it to Leary. Leary shoots, and he scored 6-6.
Yep. That was a good rebound play. Good to be there by the wing for West Point. Pick up the ball, get it just over the goalie's head.
Now, West Point transitioning to a 6 flat.
Yep.
As CalHeat advances into their attack.
Yeah, usually West Point will probably play a 5-1 and then try to get on the shooter as much as they can, but since CalHeat's been spreading the ball,
the 6 flat would be the best way to attack that.
Yep.
Save made, whistle after, so we'll have a 7-meter shot.
Yep.
For CalHeat, and I believe taking it will be a curl.
Yep. I think West Point wanted a 2-minute from that shot because I believe it did hit the face of the keeper.
Akuro scores 5-hole. 7-6 our score to CalHeat.
All right, for fans, we've got 1 for CalHeat and 0 for West Point. Thanks for saying hi, Martin, showing your true allegiance to CalHeat. Anybody else want to combat that? We'll keep a running score of how many fans we got for each team.
Okay. Miller with a shot that gets blocked by Humanity as it goes to Gray. West Point keeping possession as this is Sheffield to Gray. Gray to Miller. Miller waits. Miller cross court to the wing. Dropped off to Sheffield. Shot, save made by Bajanjani. 7 minutes to go in the first half of play. 7-6 our score. As a shot saved by West Point's keeper, who I still don't have a number of.
So we got 1 for the refs. Even spread.
Quick shot, quick goal for West Point. Believe that was Sheffield scoring it. We're even at 7. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half of play. Ball stolen, fast break, or not necessarily a fast break. Leads to a 2-on-1, and before Aycock could get the shot away, he is harmed. And I'll check myself. Yep, Aycock was harmed before he could get the shot off. This leads to a 7-meter throw for Sheffield. Whistle, score. 8-7 West Point.
Yep.
CalHeat advances across the timeline.
We knew it was going to be a game. This is a good game. Back and forth. Good defense. Some mess-ups on each side, but you'll get that.
Best game of the tournament
so far.
So far.
A lot on the line for each of these teams.
Yep. CalHeat with possession as that is Lever. Lever goes cross court. Eventually finds Akuro. Going down is Ogendahl. He'll score 8-all.
That was a great pass to the pivot. Pivot's wide open, easy dish, easy goal.
Great. Dishes this one off to Miller. Miller gets it to Sheffield. Sheffield gets this back from Gray. Miller. Gray playing pitch and catch at the top. This goes to Leary, who couldn't get the shot away. Save made Bazinjani. And I dare say, before we get too far, that the goalkeepers are keeping their teams in the game as a goal scored by CalHeat.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
We could have co-players of the game. We did that twice yesterday. Bazinjani, fast break for CalHeat. This goes to Bradley, who puts it in.
Nice to watch the keeper see what he does and then react after the keeper makes the move. You have a fraction of a second when that happens, but CalHeat, very experienced, so just another day in the office.
West Point with possession. Sheffield drops this off. Leary. Leary dropped it to Gray. Far wing. Quick shot. Quick goal. 10-9. CalHeat across the timeline. 3:58 to go in the first half of play. Check that. Lever. Paulus or Lever. Lever, the center back, as this goes to Okuro. Up and over. That was lucky to get iron.
Yep.
Because that was going over the net. West Point gets into their offense. Miller. 3:20 left to go in the first half. Miller handles this at the right wing. Sheffield drops this off. Got it to Leary. Leary to Gray. Gray gets it back. Gray dropped it to Miller. Gray. Sheffield. Sheffield looks over his options. Gets it to Miller. Miller. Gray. Gray through two. Got the shot away. But a 7-meter throw awarded.
Yep. They closed in there. Hit the hip of them, so it couldn't quite get through.
Sheffield to take it. Scores. 10 apiece. 2.5 minutes left to play in the first half.
Yeah, the first half of, I think, every game has been pretty darn close, with the exception of one or two.
Very cagey opening for both of these teams, who have started to spring to life with offense.
Yep. Get the engines rolling. Get those shots in the back of the net.
Okuro puts CalHeat up 11-10.
Get the eye boogers out of your eyes. Wake up. Great day for handball.
Never a bad day for handball.
Exactly.
Only difference I could see making would be maybe on a beach somewhere.
Ooh, beach handball. Yep, that's an up-and-coming sport. U.S. has got a great beach handball scene. Even more so than before, and U.S. has been competing internationally in that for the last couple years, and they've been doing very well.
Gray takes the foul, so West Point will maintain possession with 95 seconds to go in the half. Sheffield around one. Whistle goes before the shot. We will hang here, as it was a CalHeat foul, but not in the act of shooting. Gray, center backing. Gray gets it from Sheffield. Sheffield drops this off to Aycock. Aycock to Miller. Miller, Sheffield. Sheffield thought about the shot twice, and CalHeat will steal. And right as I say that, West Point retakes possession. Slowing the play down is Gray, but Gray has it pickpocketed from him. Okuro goes cross court to Bradley. Shoots and scores. Drew Bradley. Under a minute to play, 12-10 to CalHeat.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen West Point get a passive play called on them before. Seems like they're trying to just slow down as well. Maybe they're trying to conserve their energy for the second half. Not sure.
Miller to Gray, and the pass intercepted. Now CalHeat can afford to slow it down. 30 seconds to go in the half. As Okuro gets around one, his pass to the far wing, intercepted by West Point. They'll look to come ahead, do the men from West Point, who we like to call the weapons of handball destruction, as this one is brought back on by Colin Gray. Gray to Miller. 9 seconds to go. Miller goes down before the shot. Whistle went. Final shot before the buzzer, possibly. Gray blocked. Buzzer sounds, but we have an extended half.
Yep.
2-minute call.
I think they'll get a 9-meter throw. We're seeing here. Yep. So what'll happen is the defense, in this case CalHeat, has to line up on the 6-meter, and the West Point player gets one shot, kind of like in soccer, where their foot has to be placed on the ground.
So a soccer free kick and a football-like extended down.
Exactly.
Now that will do it for the first half, as the score reads: CalHeat 12, West Point 10. Walinga and I will be back with halftime activities coming up. Halftime of what effectively is the second semifinal with West Point and CalHeat. Jeff Disher, Josh Walinga, the final game of pool play before we get into the placement round. And it looks like we have more in the chat. So it seems.
Yep, update for the fan scores of this game.
Aha.
West Point 1, CalHeat 1, and we even got a write-in for the refs, which honestly, all three of those teams, refs included, have been very good. It's been pretty consistent. And this game, about where I personally thought it was going to be. I thought West Point was going to run a little more. But, you know, maybe they're just like, we need to bust our butts in the second half.
Josh Hedrick back with us, master of all trades. Actually, jack of all trades, master of all of them as well. Has the weapons of handball destruction down 2 at halftime.
West Point came to play, 100%.
Agreed.
Their defense is staying strong. Their offense, I got to say, is not even at the full capability that it could be. I was actually on the ground floor watching. There are some gaps and there are some holes in that defense that these great athletes need to take advantage of. It's it's anyone's game right now. Hopefully, Danilo, the head coach of CalHeat, as he's talking with his team right now, is going to make those adjustments. Again, with experience and with good coaching, you can definitely make some big adjustments. I guarantee that Mark Ortega on the opposite side for West Point is doing pretty much the same thing. Pretty much telling the team probably the same thing I am, is use your advantage of your athleticism with those open gaps. Take it. If they hold on to you, you get a 7 or you get a 9, whatever. Again, it's just that experience of knowing what to do and taking advantage of those gaps. It'll be interesting to see in the second half. Again, let's hope that CalHeat can stop those fast breaks. I don't think there were a ton in that first half, but
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So again, if CalHeat can make West Point play in the pace that CalHeat wants, then CalHeat will have that advantage. But credit to West Point, they definitely came to play, and should continue.
So hearing that tells me that CalHeat is dictating the pace of play, much like the first half of West Point's game against Milwaukee yesterday.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. So again, like, they've been through this before. West Point has, being down, or actually, I think that game was tied when we went into halftime. I
believe so.
Yeah, and so now we're almost at the same thing. It's just, what can West Point do to get back doing what they want to do? But if they can't do what they want to do, how can they take advantage of their athleticism and just going in and taking that shot? Because they're having some gaps, but again, you do have to adjust that if CalHeat plays a different defense to really discombobulate the team of CalHeat, of West Point. How are they going to respond? Again, you have to know that West Point doesn't have all the experience with handball, but they have great athletes. You got to think that CalHeat is thinking that and going to take advantage of that in the second half.
And how does CalHeat continue to turn on the Jets and take a further lead as we go down into the later stages of the second half?
Well, tidy up that defense. Again, just make sure that there's not those gaps right there. I understand it's basically third game for these teams of the tournament, so obviously there's going to be some wear and tear.
But it's an effective semifinal.
Yeah, it's all on the line if you want to get into the championship right here. So, got to tie up that defense. Just make sure that you're not opening up any easy shots for this West Point team. You got to really make them earn it. You got to make them grow up in the midst of the game to really take advantage and take a strong lead.
Do you see the second half being more physical, like the second half of our first semifinal, if you will, was?
I think anytime you play these two teams, it's going to be physical. So I would say yes. If it's not physical, that would be more shocking to me.
And the hope is no injuries late in the game, a la Mike King. Any report on him?
Going to take a look at it, see how it settles. I talked to him. He said just going to see how the bleeding holds up. Nose did not look great. I don't know if it's broken or not. Can't confirm. I do know that I can confirm to the World Wide Web and everybody watching on the stream, he does have a chipped tooth.
Oh.
Ooh.
So he will need, hopefully he has a good dental plan.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well,
hope him all the best. Really sucks, but that's handball sometimes.
Yeah. Colin Gray controls this as Army gets the first, or West Point gets the first possession of the second half, and the shot floats up over the cage. Good for CalHeat to see that, and we could have a potential 2-goal swing on the opening possession of the second half.
So it looks like CalHeat's going to be playing the 7-on-6, interchanging the goalie. So here's the thing. West Point really needs to take advantage of this, steal a ball, and get a wide-open net goal.
Immediately, yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
This could swing things.
Up to Ogendahl at the center back position. I don't know if he's a natural center back, but this is dropped to Kruzit. Kruzit gets it to Akuro. Akuro, as the swap occurs, Akuro gets around 1, but he could not get around 2. Usually 1 into 2 doesn't go, and CalHeat just proved that on the attack that they maintain. Kept alive by Ogendahl. Shot by Akuro. Kick save made.
Great save by Knudsen. I mean, really just got that leg right there. Knew the bounce was coming and got it.
West Point looking to answer. This is Gray. Gray dropped it off. Inadvertent pass, but saved by the whistle are West Point, and Gray will control at the center back position. Gray works this over across court from Miller. Miller has his pass intercepted. Fast break, Akuro. scores.
Kuro scores. The Minnesota folk, we have a fellow Cameroon teammate, Ellis. We have a nickname for Kuro, Air Cameroon.
Okay. Goal scored there. Our unofficial nickname for Ellis is the Shaquille O'Neal of handball. And with the Formula One U.S. Grand Prix in a couple weeks in Austin, I will tell you that Shaq is performing, I believe, after the podium ceremony is done at the U.S. Grand Prix in Austin in a couple weeks. I know Formula One ran in Suzuka, Japan this morning, and no, I did not stay up to watch that. So advancing this is West Point across the timeline. I had a job to do at 7:30 this morning. No way I'm going to watch a late night Formula One race and get here on 4 hours of sleep.
Yep.
Sheffield gets this. That's what F1 TV is for anyway. Gray. Kick save made by Bazanjani. And a held ball.
CalHeat ball.
CalHeat will get possession. Work back to Bazanjani, who restarts the offense. Akuro crosses the timeline. 21 and a half left to go in the second half. As it will go to Ogendal. Ogendal, I don't know that he's the natural center back on this CalHeat team, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was.
Yeah, I know that this CalHeat is this is a mix of their first team and their second team players. So I think it's possible that the normal center back. Nice, good shot.
Sheffield took a bump, took a shot, scored. 13-12, CalHeat.
Yeah, I think it's possible that the normal center back isn't at this tournament, and so that's why.
Okay.
But you know, he's doing what he can, and it's better than I can do. That's for sure.
But you're also defensive-minded.
Yes, also true.
Gray, the natural center back for West Point.
Ooh. Oh, that
Gray's the referee.
That was probably going to go out.
Very lucky for West Point.
Yep.
As Sheffield threw that over, and he got it to Middlebrooks, it looked like, who got the shot, got the whistle. And now West Point with a free opportunity. Gray. Quick restart. He forgot the ball. As he goes low. West Point with an extended possession, under 20 left to go in the game.
Good
Save made by Bazanjani. And you're talking with two goaltenders up here, Josh Hedrick. I would throw Bazanjani's name in the hat as the goal scored by CalHeat to go up 15-12. But I would throw Bazanjani in for an early attaboy for player of the game.
Yeah, I mean, even walking over, I'm getting lunch for the referees, provided by the club. And I was seeing a couple of great saves, so I 100% agree that the referees are doing a great job for CalHeat.
Goalkeepers.
What's that?
Keepers.
Goalkeepers.
Keepers.
Keepers, yep.
Bazanjani.
Yep.
Oh.
You're fine. We see where your mind's going.
Yeah,
it's all good.
we knew where you were at. 15-13, under 19 minutes. Quick shot and a quick goal. Akuro.
I'd say he'd be in the running for sure as well.
Agreed. Advanced by Sheffield. This goes to Gray. Gray, I would say the natural center back for West Point. Gray to Sheffield. Shoots. Save made by Bazanjani.
Yeah, Kuro has to really watch where his feet is with doing that defense. If he's outside of the 6, it's very possible that could just be a goalie save and going the other way. He's just really got to watch, how he's positioning his body.
Ooh.
Oh, but
Nice.
The iron kind for Bazanjani.
Yep, that left post has been taking a beating this entire tournament.
You're going to have to get the can of paint.
Yep, get the buffer out, give it a nice little shine.
CalHeat controls Ogendahl. Ogendahl answers my question, and Paulus, or actually Lever, the center back on this offensive exchange for CalHeat. Pass delivered inside, but intercepted by West Point. Fast break opportunity. Save made Bazanjani, and he will kick the ball, or an intended kick out of play.
So the ball hit the West Point thrower while he was in the crease. That's why it's a automatic goalie ball.
Aha.
Yep. Whistle should have been blown right away, but it wasn't, and that's why the keeper was trying to kick it out of the back just to ensure
That the call was made?
that they got the ball, regardless.
16:55 to go in the contest. CalHeat with the ball as this pass delivered by Akuro cross court. Ogendahl lucky to not get in the way. Ogendahl shoots, scores,
Rocket.
and your right-handed rocket comes to the fore.
Yeah.
West Point crosses the timeline. Gray. Got it to Mitchell, gets it back to Gray. Gray, Mitchell, and Sheffield at the back for West Point. Gray switches with Leary, gets to Sheffield. Sheffield now to Gray. Sheffield,
Turnover.
ball goes out of play. CalHeat with possession as this goes to Lever. Shot wide. I don't think that'll count. I believe the whistle goes before that. And a 7-meter throw upcoming for CalHeat. Akuro to take it. Akuro waits for a whistle, like we all do. Whistle, Akuro, score.
So the margin is starting to widen a little bit for West Point.
How do you combat that, pun intended?
I mean, make those goals. I mean, again, I know that the goalie for CalHeat's doing a great job, and the defense is definitely stepping up. West Point's just got to keep going. They just got to keep shooting and just hope it goes in.
Sheffield to Gray. Whistle goes before the shot, so Gray's shot wiped off the board. And West Point will maintain possession. Gray will restart. 15 minutes remaining in the contest. 18-13 CalHeat. Delivered by Sheffield, cross court. Quick shot, Gray. Quick goal, Gray.
You know, one observation I saw right there. West Point's got to really start playing it to the wings. Even if the wing doesn't take a shot and brings it back out for a pass, you really move that defense. And if anything, you're going to have a wide open shot on the right side, either the wing or the back.
Akuro stepped up before the ball got to him, but he got lucky. Tom Petty would be proud. Ogendahl. That was an easy one, Josh Willinga.
Yep, well, I'm the youngest of the three, so.
Hold that heart.
All that hard.
West Point crosses the timeline with Gray at the center back position. Gray, natural swap with Kramer, and CalHeat tried to get a run on. However, West Point thwarts them and is thwarted themselves as the pass goes for naught.
Just a little too eager. Should have really just taken a deep breath, waited at least another millisecond. He could have seen he had two options, could have just picked one. He could have even taken one dribble, gone forward, drawn a defender towards one of the other players. He could have even dribbled all the way to himself, have one of the players be a pick. Again, lack of experience, that can sometimes happen. Lesson learned. Next time it happens, don't do it again.
Ogendahl drops this off behind his back. to Akuro, who got it with his left hand somehow. Near wing, shot and a goal. And it's 19-14 now, CalHeat.
Got 2 minutes.
2-minute call.
Looks like it was a hand to the face. Oh, okay. So I did see number 3 of CalHeat, Renan.
Renault, yes.
Renault. I did notice that he did have a little reaction when he caught that ball before he passed it to the wing. That must have been it, I'm guessing.
West Point crosses the timeline. Gray to Mitchell, who gets it to Sheffield. Gray down low to his wing, goes back to Gray, and up top to Sheffield. Swap of positions between Sheffield and Gray. Gray delivers far wing. Quick shot, save made by Buzz and Johnny, and a whistle goes. Halt to play, clock rolls, 12:25 left to go in the second half.
You know, it does, especially when you're in the heat of the moment in the game.
Nice Asia reference.
Yeah, when you see a referee have a hesitant call, you're always a little bitter, but again, it's not easy to like make that right decision if you're kind of in between. Is it a 7? Is it a not? Call's a call. You got to just accept it and just get back on defense.
Sheffield scores 19-15, under 12 to play. CalHeat across the timeline into their offense. They go up the far side of the court. Akuro drops it off, gets it to Paulus. Paulus, short side to Tamorish, and he scores.
I like what CalHeat's doing. West Point knows their backs can shoot, so they're really, really sticking up on that. But they are letting the wings shoot right now. Now that they're pressing up on the backs, hey, wings are taking advantage, especially on that right side.
And a West Point goal here would make it a new game and something for CalHeat to worry about. As Sheffield controls. Sheffield bear hugged. Halt to play before the shot could ever go off. So an extended possession for West Point. As Sheffield harassed, bear hugged. Halt to play. Clock rolls. 10:55. An extended possession though for West Point, not doing CalHeat's defense any favors. This goes to Sheffield on the near side. Sheffield to Gray. Gray shoots, and it went in off of Bazanjani, the crossbar, and down. That's using your head for Bazanjani, but negatively.
Yeah.
20-16 our score. CalHeat crosses the timeline into their attack. Bazanjani playing up a little ways as Akuro drops this over to Paulus. Paulus scores 5-hole.
All right, now it's getting drawn a little bit out. I mean, with West Point, you can't ever hold them out from gaining or tying the game.
But now you're at a point where you need defensive stops.
You definitely do. Yep, it's more on the defensive side.
Sheffield. Center backing. Sheffield waved off the shot. West Point with possession as Sheffield gets this from Gray. Sheffield around one, but he couldn't get the shot away. Goes to a wing instead, and Kevin Johnson gets the shot and scores.
Great wing shot. All right, with that said, I am going to go downstairs. I am assistant coaching the Black, so I will be...
We'll take it the rest of the way.
Yep, sounds good.
9.5 minutes to go, second half of play. Jeff Disher, Josh Willinga up high, 21-17. As Josh Hedrick gets ready to coach Minnesota Black in the 7th place game upcoming.
Yep, that should be a good game.
They are playing Milwaukee.
Yep.
Whistle goes, bodies fly, West Point ball. 9 minutes and a dime left to go. As this comes to Gray. Gray works this one on, and Buzz and Johnny took one to the head.
Yep.
West Point not happy.
Nope, that was Let me take a look. That was straight to the face, unabated. That's going to be a 2-minute. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you said it was an accident. I don't care. I mean, I might be an exception. I don't mind. I hate face shots, but, you know,
I don't know any
sturdy.
goalie who would like a shot to the face.
Yeah, that's going to be 2 minutes. If the defender pushed him, maybe. Different story, but unabated, got past him.
CalHeat with the ball, and they don't have replay at the table.
Nope, we had some audio issues with the replay. We'll try to work on that for next year.
Akuro and Paulus lead the attack for CalHeat. And I'm talking the officials don't have replay to rely on.
Yes, that is correct.
Paulus delivers to Akuro far wing. Short side, the shot tipped away. 8:25 to go, second half of play, 4-goal game. Doesn't seem like it as West Point crosses into their attack.
Yep, West Point, I mean, they're keeping it in there. That last shot was kind of unfortunate for them because they'll be playing man down. But maybe they can do something.
Sheffield shoots.
Oh,
Goal taken off the board with a whistle just after the shot.
that was a very early whistle. You should really let that play out, but maybe they saw something we didn't, as Josh was saying. So.
Sheffield. And the ball inadvertently kicked back into play. Fast break. Akuro will score those every time, but the goalkeeper was off for West Point.
Yep, and I mean, West Point still had 3 players get back on defense and almost could have stopped that. Almost stopped that. So it shows the athleticism of these guys.
Sheffield to Gray, I believe.
Travel?
Yeah. I don't think passive play was on. Ball stolen by West Point, so they don't surrender a 2-goal swing. 7 minutes exactly remaining in the second half.
Yep. I don't know why. I wonder if see, timeout by West Point. Yeah. Little confusion it looked like there. The goalie was off and was trying to go on, but West Point, all their players are getting back on defense, which is great. But you need one person designated, you're coming off. And I wonder if that's part of the reason for this timeout, is so they can figure out some of that stuff.
6:56 to go, second half of play. Placement round next as Milwaukee will take on Minnesota Black in the game that Josh Hedrick is coaching.
Yep, so that is not the right one. My apologies. I have it somewhere here, I promise. Nope. Still working on this. Placement games. There it is. All right, here are the placement games so far.
So it'll be Milwaukee taking on Minnesota Black up next, with Fargo Moorhead taking on Minnesota Green at 12:30. The winner of this game will face New York Athletic Club for the title at 3, and the loser here will take on Chicago at 1:45.
Yep. Good couple games to end the day. Four elite teams. Chicago entered NYAC, CalHeat, and West Point all play in the elite bracket at Nationals. Really good way to end the day. Also seeing everything on the line for these teams for this tournament.
West Point will restart play as this goes to Gray. Gray works this one on. Apparently a natural center back as this is turned down by Kramer. Kramer had his pocket picked. Here comes CalHeat. CalHeat across the timeline as this goes to Ogendahl. Ogendahl goes over to Paulus. Paulus back to Ogendahl. Ogendahl, Paulus. Paulus, the natural center back, gets it from Akuro. Paulus gets this to Akuro. Akuro jumps, but he dropped it off. Ogendahl, cross court, gets it back. Harassed. Clock rolls with 6:10 as they resume possession. Ogendahl around one. He was stripped of the ball but CalHeat extends the possession with the foul. Okuro gets around one. Nice feign of the step before he launched the shot. And I believe a 7-meter throw has been called.
Yep. I mean, that was good defense on West Point. Because it's within the 9, it's going to be a 7, going in for the shot.
Okuro waits for a whistle, fake, shoots, scores.
Yep. Get the goalie to go low. Honestly, I think you know what? I don't know how to shoot a 7-meter. I'm going to trust him.
No need for you to shoot a 7-meter unless...
I've always wanted to. Coach won't let me.
Great save made by Buzz and Johnny. Still my top pick for player of the game.
I'm going to go probably with Okuro on this one. He's been really good at shooting, getting those shots in. I love me a good keeper, but, I mean, he's been rocking it.
Okuro has been the straw stirring the drink for CalHeat.
Yep, he's been setting up offense, been passing the ball where it needs to go. He's been hitting his shots. I don't think he's missed one. Like, he might have had a goalie save one or two, but he's been on the net each shot.
I see stat tracking coming in a year or two.
Maybe.
Ogendahl.
One would hope.
You would think. Okuro, as play resumes, his shot just wide.
Cast or curse, man, I hate it. All right. I'm just going to not talk anything about that and
wave. Yeah, we'll wave off the broadcaster curse. That shot goes wide.
All right, I just need to stop talking.
You're good. 4 and a dime remaining in the second half. How do you think I feel about that?
Yeah, I'm sure you've had way worse than I have.
True. Most certainly. As Buzz and Johnny brings the ball back into play for CalHeat. And Ogendahl slowing the play down for CalHeat. 3:45 to go. CalHeat can afford to do so with a 6-goal lead. Ogendahl to Knies. I have no excuse for Karsten Knies over the course of the last 3 days especially. And Knies played last year too. Knies dropped that over. Loose ball. West Point can't handle. Still loose. They battle for it on the floor. Whistle went. West Point with possession. 3 minutes and a quarter remaining.
They needed that. West Point needed to win that. They need to start getting some goals in there. I'd say other teams, not West Point, you could probably say the game is probably over at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I know West Point, since they're so athletic and so aggressive.
Okuro drops that shot off, but it didn't get on net. Fast break for West Point.
Oh.
Unable to handle was Carter
fumble.
Aycock.
Yeah,
Whoops.
I mean, timeout.
Whistle goes. Timeout to CalHeat.
Yep.
2:49 to go down the stretch. How do you handle or how do you approach it if you're West Point?
You got to be aggressive on defense. You need to start taking penalties, not 2 minutes, but you need to start drawing a lot more 9s than you have been. And you just need to be a lot more aggressive. I think if you do that, you can run CalHeat these last 2 minutes, just sprint it, give it all, and hopefully get some goals in the back of the net.
23-17, 2:49 to go, second half of play. Jeff Disher, Josh Wallinga upstairs at Kennedy Activity Center, day 3 of the Minnesota Fall Classic, as it is CalHeat with the 23-17 lead over West Point with 2:48 left to go in proceedings.
Yep. I mean, I think that was a good timeout on CalHeat. Let them recollect. West Point was starting to get going again, minus a couple missteps.
And a timeout like that possibly halts their momentum.
Exactly. So that was a well-timed timeout. And
Ogendahl back to Knies. Knies and Ogendahl playing catch. That pass almost intercepted by Aycock. A far side shot goes in. 7-goal game to CalHeat. Gray, 2:22 left to go as they cross the timeline.
Yeah, I think West Point is a little deflated, low morale, not used to being in this situation.
Yeah, I know they've not been there all weekend.
Yep.
Sheffield has the ball stolen from him. Here comes CalHeat. This is Ogendahl. His shot goes up high, but time not on the side of West Point.
Yep. I'd say if West Point was down by 1 or 2, they would be totally okay with that because they know that they can get it. But because they're down by 7 and haven't really gotten offense going in the second half, a lot of missed throws like that.
There's another one.
Yep. I think it's
A fast break for CalHeat leads to a goal, and I am now going to definitively say that CalHeat is in the title tilt at 3 o'clock with West Point playing for third.
Yep, I would. I don't like counting my chickens, but this is a chicken I'm willing to count.
Bazanjani with the save there. 1 minute and 10 left to play.
So,
And crossing the timeline is Ogendahl leading the offense for CalHeat. Final minute of play. So the 7th place game sees Milwaukee take on Minnesota Black.
yep.
And then Minnesota Green will take on Fargo Moorhead for 5th place. So those are the next 2 games that we have upcoming. As a shot to the produce section of a West Point player, believe that came off of Miller, and it was. He's okay. 25 seconds to go in the game. This one dropped off to Gray. Gray will score 26-18 now. Timeout on the floor with 20 seconds left.
2-minute penalty on CalHeat. It's not going to matter at this point. But, still noted for stat tracking if we ever get that someday. Keep track of penalty minutes. I think at this point, if you're CalHeat, maybe just pass the ball around.
Yeah, melt the kind of like a kneel down play in American football.
Yeah, or I guess try to get a goal, pad your stats.
Buzzer sounds, ball game over. It is CalHeat with the 26-18 victory. So as we, in theory, update the bracket, it'll be CalHeat in the championship tilt.
Yep.
As they will take on NYAC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. CalHeat's just going to say, you know what, take the ball. That's fine. We don't want it. Yep, so that's that game.
They shake hands. Who do we have for player of the game for CalHeat?
I'd say Okura would be my guess.
I'll go and grab him.
And we'll be back in a minute.
Back up high at the Kennedy Activity Center with Zuid Akuro, our player of the game as CalHeat defeats West Point by a count of 26-18. Zuid, your thoughts on what you just went through as the straw that stirred the drink for CalHeat?
Well, it was a pretty interesting game given West Point. They are pretty physical, but each team has its own tactics of playing. The coach comes up with one, and we, the players, we just have to execute it.
And you did just that.
Yes, sir. So it was a pretty good game. It wasn't an easy opponent, but not necessarily the best team, but, it's a team sport. One person must win, and we had the win this time. So we just keep working hard to keep the wins coming, and this tournament and other tournaments to come.
How do you get ready for the championship game coming up at 3 o'clock? And with NYAC?
Personally, I just need a rest. Maybe my teammates know I can get some food, rice, chicken. It fills me up, gives me the energy to do what I have to do. Sit down, get a little debrief with the coach. He tells us what we need to do. He's the head, we are the body. He does the thinking, we execute on the court.
Tape study? Studying tape of NYAC in between?
Not necessarily. We've played with them a couple of times.
Okay.
We've watched a couple of games. We just have 1 or 2 adjustments to make, but I trust the technical bench has already taken note of that, so we just go in and wait for them to tell us what we have to expect.
Josh Walinga.
Great playing out there. Always a pleasure watching you play. Love seeing your athleticism, especially how you guys work together. Really excited to see how the rest of the year goes. So going forward, what's one thing that you guys are looking to do to either improve or keep doing the same?
I mean, there's always room for improvement, so we keep working hard and we keep improving. Even when we are the best, we still try to be the best. So we keep working hard and we keep improving every day. It's like learning. You keep learning every day, even if you learn like an inch, but it's something new that adds to your system and your play.
That will do it from here. Zuid Kuro, our player of the game, as CalHeat defeats West Point in what effectively was the second semifinal. Placement round games start with Minnesota Black as they take on Milwaukee, and that comes your way next.